Welcome. Thank you for jumping in. We've got a treat for you today. The whole idea behind this is just to give you a taste of what we do in the group coaching sessions weekly. We do them multiple times a week, and I lead half of them. So we want to help you grow. So these next 2.5, 3 hours, they're going to be full of things that you can actually do, actually put into your business to make it grow. And we've been giving back for years. We started Lab Code Agents back 11 years ago. And it was all for one purpose. It was just to give back to the real estate community for free. Means we would give away everything we were doing. And the whole goal was just to make sure that this industry that you and I are in, because I am a real estate agent, so that we can all grow. We can all progress. We can all still be here 5 years from now, right? April, what's up, April? I think the whole idea of just creating things for real estate agents is to continually help you stay in touch with what you need to be doing. Because I find that we get easily distracted with all of the other things that are not working. And so in running the largest community in the world of real estate agents, we get to see what's actually working and what's not. And not only from the most amazing agents out there, like April's one of them, right? But from agents that have tested it out and are brand new and then got burned, right? So we're also telling you, hey, don't go over here. And if you do, go in with your eyes wide open because it hasn't worked for other people, right? So with that experience, we want to help you with that too. And then underlying everything is just the care and the love that we have for the real estate community. It is sincere. I mean, we've been at the forefront of everything for like 11 years and asking nothing back from you because I'm a real estate agent. April's a real estate agent. We want to see you grow. It was really hard for me starting off, not knowing who to reach out to and how to do certain things. And so we wanted to eliminate that and we wanted to just make sure that you start off better and progress better. Whether you're a single agent, a small partnership, a team, a massive team, or even a brokerage, we deal with everyone at all levels. And one thing is very clear for me, and I don't know about you, April or Trenton, as you're watching this is recorded, but one thing that's very clear is that the world around us is quickly changing faster than ever before. And for those of you who've been in business for a while, you are like, what the hell is happening, right? Like, I love Keller Williams, and I'm not Keller, I'm Y Realty, but I love Keller, and now they took on a private equity firm to purchase a certain amount of Keller Williams, right? That will change the dynamic of our industry, whether we want to or not, right? Rocket attempting to purchase Redfin, that hasn't gone through yet, but it looks like it probably will. That will change the dynamic of our industry. The talks of Berkshire somehow merging, being sold, or something happening between Berkshire and Compass. Whether or not that's true, who knows? But the talks, right? And then EXP just purchasing Movoto, right? With Chris Heller being involved in that. Look, one thing is very clear, and this is what I want to talk to you about today. The shift that you're noticing, sometimes it's not clear. And so I want to make it clear to you. The world that we are in right now and heading into is all about attraction because all these companies are paying for one thing. All these companies are paying for an audience, a community. It's all about attracting people. The world that I started in real estate was all about picking up the phone, going out and door knocking, calling expireds for sale by owners. And look, that all still works, but it does not work the same. From the moment I came in and I was doing amazing doing those things, all of a sudden I had Zillow pop in. And then I had YouTube pop in, Facebook, right? And then Realtor.com leads. And then the world started shifting. And it slowly got to the point where you started seeing building a community and attracting became the key to growing a business, to growing influence, to creating relationships. And that's one key piece that nobody's ever going to take away from our business, the relationship piece. And so as you're listening to us, I want that right there is the underlying tone to everything that we are doing, everything you are doing on a daily basis. Um, I will answer that, Oliver. I get that question once a day. I want you to understand and realize and burn into your mind and hearts that the core of everything we do revolves around relationships. That's it. It's simple and it's complicated, but relationships mean attracting an audience. This is why Rocket's going at Redfin. They've got an amazing community, right? They show up on social, they show up on SEO, they show up on paid and organic really well. And Zillow's done an amazing job, whether you like them or not. They've captured the consumer, and we need to do the same thing on a niche area. But here's the problem. Here's where I'm going to start. This is the challenge. And April and I and Trenton, we see this on a level and we go through it sometimes. I know I do. April, I'll let you talk for yourself, but there are times where my emotions aren't where I would like them to be. And this is why I printed this out because I wanted to start with this. That's why I remember. Here's what I want to start with this. Psychological research has long confirmed that emotions, your emotions, everyone, real estate agents, humans, emotions are deeply connected to decision making. Number one, motivation, and overall life satisfaction. One of the most well-known studies on this topic comes from Dr. Barbara Fredrickson. You can look her up. She's a psychologist at University of North Carolina. She developed the broaden and build theory of positive emotions. Here's what it says, and then I'll talk to you about it. Her research shows that positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and love expand our ability to think clearly, solve problems, and build stronger relationships. So you see, the challenge we're facing on a daily basis is this, is inside. What is going on? Because how I grew my team, how I grew my businesses, how I grew Lab Code Agents at the beginning was all based on for me, online lead generation. And if I picked up the phone and stuff wasn't right in here when I'm reaching out to people, I would have hung up and said, oh my gosh, these online leads are terrible. But I knew that 1 out of 50 or 1 out of 60 or more was going to say, yes, I'm interested. The rest were going to sound like terrible, not interested, just browsing, just looking. And see, the problem is opportunities are all around us. But because our emotions are deeply connected to decision making and our outlook, we don't see them. We're blind to them. If you look at your phone, this is your database right here. These are all of your people. And yet, I hear the same thing over and over and over again. It's like there's just no business, Tristan. Yes, there are 4 million transactions happening year over year instead of 5 and instead of 6 3 years ago, which was a crazy amount, right? Everyone was succeeding. Now it's gotten a little tighter. But this is why it comes down to relationships. What are you doing today to build these relationships? What are you doing today to build this long-term career? Because this isn't a short thing. You're getting into this business to make sure that you're still around 5 to 10 years from now. If you're just dipping your toes in this to see how it's going, it's like this is probably not for you, or you need to change your mindset. Because you need to look at this business differently. And you need to take time for yourself to be like, okay, I'm going to go back to Dr. Barbara Fredrickson and say, okay, got it. Positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and love expand my ability to think clearly and solve problems and build stronger relationships. It all comes down to how you're feeling. The secret to your success, even though we're going to show you processes, systems, AI, the right way to do business, it's all going to come down to you. It's all going to come down to how you're feeling. And that's the challenge. That's the thing that I can't control. You can't control it if you're focused on all the wrong things. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff that's happening all around you. But the challenge is you're focused on so much and you're not focused on the one thing you can actually control, how you're going to respond to the stuff that's happening all around you and to you, right? I'm going to continue here. Most of you know Dr. Daniel Kahneman. He's written a few books. You can Google him. You can go to Amazon, find them. Great books. Nobel Prize winning psychologist explored how emotions influence decision making. Now, listen to this. His research found that people are more likely to make impulsive, impulsive, short-term choices when experiencing negative emotions. And you know, real estate agents think they can solve everything with that silver bullet. Impulsive, boom. Short-term decision, boom. While positive emotions help us make calmer and more rational decisions. So the key here, I'll come back to this later, but the key here, as you're developing your real estate business or going to that next level, I don't care what level you're in, because as we talk to single agents, brand new agents, veteran agents, brokerages, we're talking to firms, Fortune 500 firms, the leadership. Doesn't matter who I talk to. It comes down to how you're feeling. And if you feel like crap, your opportunities dwindle. You don't see them. It's like you're in a tunnel and you only see the problem. I want you to snap out of it. I want you to take time for yourself. This is where we're starting today. I want you to take time for you and ask yourself, how are you doing internally? How are you doing inside today? Because if you're anything like me, there are days that I'm like, I don't want to, I'm just not up to it. I just can't. I don't know. And that's when you need to dig in and just show up. That's when you need to dig in and say, got it. You know what? I've been here before. I need to go into the routine that I've made for myself so that I'm forced to show up through pure action because that's what it takes. You need to retrain your mind to show up even when it doesn't want to. You think I want to door knock every day, cold call all these leads that I have, run into my database? No, there are some days that are tougher than others. But I know that being in this business for a long time, the secret is consistency and how I show up. Because how you show up matters in this whole thing that I started with, attraction. Think of how you're showing up. How are you showing up with people? Are you calling people and just letting them know that you're just touching base with them because you didn't plan ahead? You didn't think about what you were going to say? And then if somebody just says, oh, I'm just looking, I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Just hang up. It's the energy you bring to the table that either attracts, or pushes people away. And pushing people away means they just don't care. You didn't make an impact. Your energy matters. How you show up for yourself matters. And nobody talks to you about this in real estate. You know what they talk to you about instead? This is why I love our group coaching, right? We're there for each other. We're trying to help each other grow. They talk to you about this. Well, you're struggling? Well, have you made your calls? You know, you've got your database, like I told you earlier. Did you make your calls to your past clients, to your sphere? Did you try some Google ads and some Facebook lead ads? Did you try retargeting in a newsletter? Thank you, Siri. Siri always has something to say. Make sure not activated. Did you do an open house? Well, did you mail? There's always something, right? But it's all the wrong things because none of that's going to work really well and consistently if your stuff's broken up here consistently. And so to start, I need you to outline what it looks like to take care of yourself on a daily basis. And you all know what to do. It's not like it's a mystery to us. We all know that we need to walk or exercise. We need to eat better. We need to read and feed the mind daily. Because if we don't feed the mind with new thoughts, we recycle the old thoughts and they pop up. And what happens? Sometimes those thoughts aren't the greatest thoughts. Oh, you can't do it. Is this business really for you? Maybe I should just quit. These are real. Like I've gone through them. I'm a real estate agent. I know because I've gone through these. But you know what the solution to all of that is? Real action. What do I need to do today? How do I need to show up today? How do I take care of myself today? Because you've all heard motion enhances emotion. And so if you feel like crap, maybe you need to take a walk. Like our ancient philosophers from Greece. They're like, hey, you know what we notice? When we're taking walks, we feel better. We come back with new ideas. You've got to find the solution for you because only you know how to deal with you. And a lot of you already have an inclination as to what that is. But it all has to do with taking actual action. Outline it. Like when I went through this whole challenge I had internally, I created a whole process for myself. It was a routine. It was an evening routine and a morning routine so that I knew that I could show up better for myself. Because you know what? Nobody was going to come out and help me. I could point fingers. I'm like, oh my gosh, why are they getting listings over there? Why? They don't deserve that over there. What? That person? When the real problem was me, right? Extreme ownership. Just like the title from Jocko's book. It comes down to you. The responsibility falls on you to take care of yourself first. And nobody is going to tell you this. Not in the real estate world, because all you have to do is prospect, right? No. First comes you, your mind, yourself. What are you doing daily to take care of yourself? Because now, if I go and show you here what I've got for you, and by the way, um, one of our awesome people will put up a link to group coaching. Um, you can, when you're in group coaching, we can then figure out um, how you can get this. But I need you to tell me that you can see my screen. I need a yes or a thumbs up. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate that. So if I were to show you this, and I've done this before in with big audiences, small audiences, there are always people out there. And we're going to get into this, by the way, because this is the plan. There's somebody always in the audience or a few that say, that doesn't work. It doesn't work in my market. No. Are you even in my market, Tristan? That won't work here. And if that's you, I need you to start looking at a different way to look at things because it will instantly not work in your market with that attitude. It comes down to attitude, right? What did they say? What did Dr. Barbara Fredrickson say? Emotions are deeply connected to decision making, motivation, and overall life satisfaction. How are you even looking at this world? Because then Dr. Daniel Kahneman says research found that people are more likely to make impulsive, short term choices when experiencing negative emotions. Why? Well, because your attitude sucks. And you're always looking for a shortcut because you don't understand that this business is a long term business based on relationships, and relationships take a long time to build. I need you to watch your attitude. I need you to really focus on that first. And let me see the comments. Lorna, I always say emotion needs emotion. I like that one too. Lorna, that's a really good one. Valerie, I'm going through that now. Valerie, I've gone through it and I go through it in different days, but I've gotten better over the last. So I've been in real estate for 21 years. I think it took me, so the 2008 economic dump, I didn't do well mentally or emotionally through that. But I did get better. And that's when I figured out, wait a second, this is how you show up better, Tristan. Here's your process for you, your operating system. Let's fix it. And I can't tell you what that is for you, but we've done a few sessions in the group coaching where we go through our routine and how it's helped us and what you can do. But it's a whole different section here. Um, Laura also says, so many distractions in this business, it's always been a downfall, right? And the thing is, when you see the news, when you see the Wall Street Journal, Fox, CNN, Housing Wire, Inman, when you see all of those, the way that you're feeling really determines the outlook on what you think that news means to you, right? And for me, I look at it and I'm like, okay, great. How can I turn that and inform the consumer? Does it even matter? Because I'm looking at it as business. Same thing as social media, which we'll get into really quick. You're looking at my stray hair here. Yeah. Listen, I'm getting old, Tim. Okay. And that means some of these are going to be gray up here and they're going to look like they're going to go all over the place. Did that fix it? I love that. Lee, mindset doesn't work in my market. I love that. All right, let's get into the second part of this. We're going to put up the now you can concentrate. Perfect. I like that. So here's the plan. And I'm going to go over this probably for the next hour. We're going to break this through. So you can create a plan for yourself. You're going to pick and choose which one of these you want to start with, which ones you think apply to you. But I can tell you, it doesn't matter if you're running a brokerage or if you're a brand new agent, some of this will apply to you because we've gone through it with everyone. And this, for those that are asking, I'm using MindMeister. It's a free app. I use the paid version because I have a whole bunch of flowcharts. You don't need to pay for it. But we're going to start at the top with your core database. Why? Because according to NAR, most of our business as agents comes from referrals. It comes from our people. It comes from our database, right? Hmm. But before I wanted to start here, I needed to make sure that you realize your outlook on life is determined every day by how you show up for yourself, your emotions. Now, I'm going to shrink this to go through and tell you we start with two right here, your core past clients or sphere and your regular past clients or your sphere. Now, the differentiation is this. I think this one's more important, meaning core, right? The key word is core. And when I'm taking a look at core, I'm taking a look at those people that know me by name at a supermarket, or if I'm walking in the street and they're jogging too or walking, they're like, hey, Tristan, those are my core people. If I text them, they know me, right? It's a big differentiating thing. You need to identify. When I look into my database or databases, I need to make sure that I focus on those people that know me, that are going to refer business to me, because not all people in my database are created equal. And they shouldn't and don't deserve your connections, input, effort in the same way. Nobody tells you that either. I need you to identify, wait a second, who should I be focused on more than anybody else? Because they like me and I like them, and they can open more doors for me. And they can probably get me more business because they're buying, they're selling, whatever they're doing, right? Think about that. It is not equal. And so you shouldn't be spending your time on them. What was it? Slides back up. Got you. All right, let me put the slides back up. Well, where do we go? There we go. Okay. So now, if we're going to start with core past clients, here are your opportunities. It's the hop method. And by the way, I'm going to stop sharing really quick because I know some of you will miss most of this, or you want it on repeat, or you want to read it on your own. Stop sharing. I wrote this best-selling book with the publishing company Wiley about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I don't remember. But it's done very well. We have it on Audible too. I go through part of this, what I'm going to show you inside the book. It's called Real Estate Prospecting, right? And I go in there into our routines as well, so you can show it better for yourself. You can pick it up. But let's go back to the hop method because it is there. So the hop method, I got to a point in my career in real estate where we were getting about one referral a day. And I needed to look back and say, well, why are we getting one referral a day? What are we doing right? Because I thought we were doing a lot of wrong things. Uh, but there was one thing we were doing well, and that's our brand. I'm going to shrink these so you can see the top one. But our brand right here, our brand was meeting them in three different places consistently. And these are, remember, this is for our core past clients and our core sphere, right? Our brand was meeting them at home, online, and in person. And it was consistent because this business is what? Consistent, right? What chap is he using? It's MindMeister. And yeah, if you sign up for coaching, you're going to get all this. We're going to go over it in detail more. So don't worry about it. Just Susanna, can you put up the link there for coaching? But you meet them at home. Now I want to give you what that means because our brand was meeting our core database at their home, and this is what it looked like. Now, these are not all the options. You can go and expand on this more or realize, hey, you know what? That's too much. And in some cases it is, right? Because a brokerage would use everything that's on here or a big team. But if you're a single agent, I would say, hey, look, if you're going to meet them at home, this is just your core past clients, your core sphere, pick one. Where do you want to start? If you're going to drop something off in their home, for me, it would be something more that's automated. But if I'm short on funds, it would probably be handwritten notes. And I mean, I've got handwritten notes right here because we do this. Let me show you. And I got these from Etsy. So see how they are? They've got a T, right? I chose that one because I liked the T. They're blank inside, just, and they've got one little envelope. And that's it. And I don't do very many. I probably do one every 3 or 4 days. So I've got a little stack, you see, but I leave them right here because when I make a connection that I think is valuable, at least for me, to add them to our database, I do that. And so that's the least expensive one because you can go to, if you don't want to go to Etsy, you can go to Target and grab them. And they're not very expensive at Target, or you can go to Amazon. Amazon's got them for super cheap. Now, there's also send out cards. You can do that as well. They're a little bit more expensive. But for me, my favorite one is still Client Giant. I have no affiliation with them. I wish I started the company, but I did not. And Client Giant automates the gifting for us. And this is where we have to decide who we're going to place on these. Is it going to be just our past clients that are core, or just our core sphere, or a mix of both? I don't know. It depends on what you want. But for us, if we spend a lot on this, we've got to make sure that it's the right people. Not everyone is going to go on this because the least amount it costs me per person on Client Giant is $9.99 a month. And the most, it goes up to, I think, $299 a person a month. So it can get pretty expensive. Now, postcards, you all know how to do that. You can do EDDM, or you can use CoreFact or Breakthrough Broker to send those out. We do these. I'll tell you what we do right now. I do the handwritten notes. We do postcards through Breakthrough Broker and through CoreFact. We do Client Giant. I have a few people on this. We you send out cards sparingly. I don't use it very often. I'll tell you what I do use it for. I love the brownies, so sometimes I send the brownies to myself or to my son. But, that's an inside hack, by the way. Drop-offs, I don't do drop-offs, but one of my agents does amazing on drop-offs. She actually goes to, what is it, World Market, Cost Plus, same name. She goes there and she grabs baskets, and she does this quarterly to like a handful of her past clients. She does amazing on this. I don't do this. I wish I just suck at it. How's that? I'm terrible at that one. Printed newsletters. We just redesigned our printed newsletters. I had our marketing team do this, and we're now designing this for our whole group coaching organization. So this way, when you get this, you can modify it on Canva on your own, and then you can print them out black and white or however you want to. But we're going to restart to do this. We stopped for about a year and a half, but now we're going to start doing this just for our core past clients and core sphere. And the magazines, I don't do magazines and I don't do personal drop-offs like pop buys. Magazines I've seen work really well as well. So it just hasn't been something we added. We might in the future, but I think we're doing the other things really well. So we're not going to do those. And anything you can add to this for yourself, go right ahead. I would recommend that you start with this. Now, before I move on to online, I want to know which one stands out for you. Like, which one do you think you can add? Put it in the chat. Which one do you think you can add? Or which one has worked well for you? Put it in the chat so we can all see it. And let's see what other comments I can get here. Yep. Thank you, Trenton. Appreciate you for doing that. All right. Ashley, what is Client Giant? I'll show you in between the little breaks. April Tucker. I can't wait till April jumps in. She's going to have some cool stuff. Don Hot. What's up, Don? Nice to see you. Their creme brulee nuts are amazing. Okay, so now we're going to go on a tangent thanks to you, Don. But when I go into World Market, I directly go to the back where they have all of the international chocolate and candies. And I just sit there and I'm like, I haven't tasted this. I haven't gotten this. Oh, I love that stuff. My wife hates me when we come out of there because all I get is chocolate. Handwritten notes, hand down. Andrea, I agree with you. I think, and that's why I have the stack right here, right? They just perform so well for us that I think it's psychological because when people receive a handwritten note, whether it's you who's writing it or handwritten, who's a bot writing it, as long as it's handwritten, there's a feeling like I matter to you. You took the time to write something to me. And one of the core human needs is significance. And you're making me feel like I matter to you. And this is why it works, right? We'll get into the social part of this too, but yeah. Danny adding Client Giant. Valerie, I could add handwritten notes more often. Me too. Remember, I'm only writing one every 3 or 4 days. I could probably do one a day, right? Eric, love send out cards. Clients love birthday cards and the brownies. Eric, let's be truthful. They just love the brownies. I love the brownies. Ashley, handwritten notes and drop-offs. You do the drop-offs? Tell me what you drop off there. Daniel, what's up, Daniel? Handwritten notes seem easiest to implement, right? I agree. Laura, home anniversary cards or birthday cards? Yes. Donald, gift baskets can be any season. You are so right. Sean, handwritten notes that have worked for me. I lost you, Sean. Hold on. There it is. I like the idea of adding gifting. Thought, yep, good. Thomas, handwritten notes rock. I had cards made with their pictures that I took. That's awesome. Gor, okay, I'm messing up your name, Goroff. I'm gonna get it right next time you're in the coaching session, okay? Japanese Kit Kats are the best, and I agree. They are. My son bought the big pack, And my son and I finished it all last weekend. So, Don, now handwritten notes, are they blank cards or do you say something in them that you had? Valerie, what a great question. When I go to my past clients, I'll give you a hack. You know what? Let's do this live. I'm going to share my screen with you and I'm going to show you exactly what you can do. Okay. Let's go into Facebook and I'm going to, can you all see my screen? I just need a thumbs up or a heck yeah. Going once, going twice, you can see it. Perfect. Why? Thank you. All right, so I'm going through my Facebook and I'm looking specifically for a person, right? Not a group, even though who doesn't love lab coat agents, right? We're gonna make sure that everyone loves that. I'm going for, what is this? They have a special for Outlander, 24.95. That's a good price for stars. Okay, I'm going for a person. And now I'm going to scroll through funny real estate, not that one. Um, Horror frenzy. No, apparently groups are the thing that's dominating Facebook, right? Which is a great example, right? Communities. Now, Douglas, I think this is not anybody I follow. Nope. This is amazing how groups and ads are dominating this. That Eddie's my friend. He's a photographer. Okay, finally, a person. Holy crap. Heidi Hatch. So if I'm going here, I'm going to write a note to Heidi. It would be, hey, Heidi, I noticed that you posted up, and then go into the video and say, hey, that was crazy, right? So you're using social right here. You're using social media not only to check out what people are doing, but also, oh, hold on, let's go to Facebook, to spy on what they're doing and use it for your notes, right? Because people want to know that you're paying attention to them and that you're connecting with them at a level that makes them feel like they matter to you. Now, she's a great agent out in Texas, right? So I'd go, Samantha, I hit her up and be like, hey, that last video you did, you made me laugh. That was so good. By the way, dance moves are amazing, right? This is how I would use it. So now you're using the same thing and saying, how can I do this for the consumers that I'm following that are my core past clients and core sphere by using social media, right? So that's the way I would use it. Um, what else we got? And then we'll go to the next one. Taking time, Lorna, taking time to write handwritten notes makes both you and the receiver feel great. Plus, they always get read. Yes, agreed. Christine, I use Simply Noted for home anniversary cards and handwritten notes otherwise. Monthly newsletter. Christine, I've never tried Simply Noted. I'm going to save that. Hold on. So I don't forget, I'm going to pop it open on a different screen and I'm going to check that out at a later time. Oh, it's like handwritten. I just saw that. Nice. Ashley, it kind of depends. I deliver Mother's Day flowers on Mother's Day, barbecue sauce on Father's Day, and then other random things. I love that you mix it and make it season for the season or for the occasion. All right, let's go on to the next one here. You can upload your Excel and then you will send them out accordingly. Do it and forget it. Love that, Christine. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the next portion of this so you all can keep learning. So we've got that. This is your core. Remember, this is your core sphere for at home online. Now, online is where I would start. It's the least expensive. It's the way to connect with people without really breaking the bank. And you have a lot of different strategies on this one. But the easiest one, call, text, email. But do me a favor, when you're looking at call, texting, email, it can't be it can't be just touching base. It can't be just following up to see how your home is doing, just following up and see how you're doing. Hey, it's been a year, right? I want you to have a lot more sincerity and authenticity in the way you approach it and a lot more value, right? So when you're looking at call, text, email, if I'm going to call you, let's pick somebody here. Jody, you were the last one who commented. I'm going to pick on you, Jody. If I'm calling you, Jody, and you are my past client, then what I'm going to be doing, probably two things. And I have a list of 9, but I'm going to either reach out to you, Jody. Remember, you're my core past client, core sphere. It's going to have to be something along the lines of value driven as far as a directory. So if I'm reaching out to you, Jody, it's going to be by text, typically, because you're already in my core sphere. I'm not going to be calling you, being like, hey, Jody, it's Tristan. Listen, it's so much easier by text to connect and give that value. Jody, it's Tristan. Listen, I'm expanding our directory of trusted vendors. Have you used anybody you absolutely loved in the last few months? And then I'm leaving it open for her, Jody, to tell me, yeah, I used an electrician or a handyman or whoever. Or they're going to come back and say, no, I haven't used anybody, but do you have a plumber? Right? Value driven. And there are 8 other ones we do, but that's the approach you're trying to look for when it comes down to connecting with people, right? Value, value, value. Retargeting, everyone should be retargeted on your database. Please. It's the easiest thing you can do. If you don't know how to do it, Trenton does it for us. You can pay Trenton to do it probably. So it just everyone is going to be seeing who you are, your brand, your properties, everything about you once they're in your database. This is very, very key, and it's not as expensive as you think. You could literally do $3 a day. You can do $1 a day, but $3 is probably better. Social media strategy, we've gone into LCM multiple times. Like, comment, message as you're scrolling through on Instagram or Facebook. Your job is to connect with them. Going back to the handwritten part where you're making them feel significant, right? Same thing applies to social media. I'm going through on Instagram and I'm just scrolling and I'm like, oh, Trenton, right? I'm just making stuff up. Trenton, I'm not looking at your social, so I have no idea. Okay. But you know what? Now that I'm at it, I'll just look at your social, buddy. Trenton. All right. Let's say I'm scrolling through and I see Trenton stuff. And the last thing Trenton posted, you were at a stadium, Trenton. That was pretty good. Wait, were you golfing? What were you doing?
I
All right,
was
so I'm going
golfing
through.
at Coors Field. It was pretty cool.
You were golfing at Coors Field?
Yeah, it was like 9 holes of golf or so. And you go around the baseball field and then like aim for the grass on the grass on the field.
Oh, that's pretty cool,
Like
dude.
Top
I
Golf.
like that. Top golf in an actual field. That's nuts. So I'm scrolling. Trenton comes up. He's in my core sphere. I would put a little heart on it, which I just did. I would comment. The comment obviously has to do with the post, right? Amazing. I've never tried that. Was it fun? Was it fun? That's the comment. So now you're going to see it, Trenton. Now, the next thing I would do, which none of us do, is I'm going to take the time to message him privately. I'm going to go up to Trenton and I'm going to message him, and the message will have to do with something. Approach everything with curiosity. Now, my message is going to have to do with something about what he did. Hey, I didn't know that they offered that at stadiums, right? That's crazy. How much did it cost you? And I'm going to let it go like that. Now, the thing when we tested this out with Meta, with Facebook and Instagram, when I worked with them directly for 4 years, I created this whole LCM process for their business division. And when we taught this, they came back with a few things for us. Number one, they realized that 98% of the people we messaged us back. That beat out text, that beat out calling. And that's where I realized, wait a second, we just hit on a basic human need of feeling like we matter to other people, the significance factor. You're making me feel like what I'm posting actually matters because you commented. You liked, commented, and messaged me. I didn't bring up real estate. I don't have to because you're going to check my profile. And then when you do, that's when I got you. Because now I'm in real estate. But more importantly, now, Trenton, when you check out my profile, I'm going to pop in your feed for the next 3 minutes. So it's important to do this, right? And this is why I always say if you're going to start anywhere, start online. It's the least expensive. This has now become an arm for prospecting for us, right? LCM. Retargeting, newsletter. We send out a newsletter weekly to our database. You could do webinars. I know a few great agents that do webinars on trusts or ADUs, or whatever it is that you want to talk about to your audience, right? You can do optimization through SEO. Trenton, are you talking about SEO today or no?
Not today.
Okay. So you can optimize your website by going to ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Proximity or Perplexity, sorry, and start creating content with the help of AI, which then leads me into, do you want to start a podcast that's all local, focused on the local community, or a vlog, a YouTube channel focused all on what's happening in the community, or a Facebook group? Our friend Blair, who might be on here or not, Blair, let me know if you're on this by saying hello. If not, he's got a Facebook group of, you know what, let's find out together. Facebook. Let's go to Living North Phoenix. He's got a Facebook group of 36,000 people, and he doesn't let any real estate agent in. He let me in because I coached him, and he's done an amazing job growing this community, and he gets business from this, right? This is the key. He treats it like a business. And virtual home tours, these, believe it or not, do absolutely amazing. That's a whole session of its own. But if you are able to do little tours of homes with your phone, post them up on social media, or have them live on your website, or do both, that's key right there. And then in person. This is the killer one. This is the one that brings everything all together. And that's meeting people in person. Remember, this is your core sphere, your core past clients. They want to connect with you throughout the year. And if you're not creating this opportunity to meet up with people, you're missing a massive opportunity to build long-term relationships. Now, you could do the yearly events and these bigger events. I, let me stop sharing. I get anxiety from doing these big events because I'm like, I have to prepare for it. I have to make sure everything's right. What if this happens? What if that happens? I get in my own head. The last one we did was 600 people, and it was a Halloween one. And it was amazing. I just hate them because of all the work it involves. If you love doing that, great, do it. I try to steer away from those personally, and I like to go to the smaller ones, which I like the small group lunch dinners. And for me, my favorite, hands down, one-on-one coffee, which we have a whole process for. I think we did a few coaching calls just on this one, on the approach and why it's so well and why it works so well. I think you go to the one-on-one coffee, it makes people feel really significant when you take the time to text them. Remember, these are your core sphere, core past clients. Another reason to reach out to them. Hey, who did I pick on earlier? Jody. If I go to you, Jody, my text to you, be like, hey, do you have time to have coffee later this week? Right? If you say no, say, don't even worry about it. I'll drop coffee off at your place. Right? Who else is going to be with you when you're there? I drop coffee in the front. No, picture done. I'm like Amazon, and you don't have to worry about it. It's done. But if you actually want to meet up and talk, awesome. I get there early, take a picture of the menu, say, what do you want? I got it for you. You show up. I want to talk about you. I want to learn more about you. I want to make you feel amazing. Because at the end of the day, what matters? What matters to people? What matters in our business? How you make people feel, right? How you make people feel. That's the basis of the relationship. But how can you make people feel great if you feel like crap? This is why I started with the emotions. It's a little circle, right? It's a little circle. Trenton, uh, what was Tammy's question, Trenton, that I missed?
Do you
Uh,
combine personal and business Facebook, or do you have separate?
Combine them. You can combine them. It's not a problem. If you want a business one, keep it all business. It's fine. But what we've seen, social media trends and how it works the best, we've seen your personal page, which can be, you could be a digital creator. Let me go to mine so you can see. Even though this isn't a social media class, I want to show you really quick because it is important. So you go here, you see how mine says the professional is on. You can, there's a little button where to go. Yeah. If you click that little button on your desktop, it'll give you options here, and then you can decide how you change your profile. But you want to be a digital creator if you can, and then make your personal page into a professional page. Because if I click on the professional button, all of a sudden I can see all these details. And for me, the important thing is the audience, right? I can tell who my audience is and what age group they're in and who's engaging with what, right? And that becomes really important. So yeah, and then we can run ads with our Facebook page as well. That's a whole different session, which we'll go into on a coaching session. But let me go back to the prospecting one-on-one coffee, which is my favorite. And charity events, we haven't done very many of those. I think I've only run two ever, right? But they've performed very well. And then local real estate seminars, we have done this one. We did this one locally. We partnered up with a lender, and he was the one that talked about ADUs. And then we've also done one with a trust and probate attorney one time. That performed so well. Um, so yeah, I would highly recommend wrapping these three together. You meet them at home, you meet them online, and you meet them in person. Giselle, oh wow, I had no idea you could turn a Facebook profile into a professional. Yes, do it. Um, Number one way to make your Facebook more engaged. Now, the regular past clients, it's a light hop, right? Same thing. It's just pick one, right? I try to pick the least expensive things on this. So everyone in my database as a whole, they're being retargeted. They get an email newsletter. They get automated text and emails. Um, Not all of them get LCM, but if you're following me and I'm following you back, we do that and we invite everyone to the webinar shops. I don't have one-on-one coffee with my massive database. I just invite them to the big events, right? And we've got 80,000 people in one of our databases. Let me see if I can log in so I can show you some of that really fast. Um, so we use Follow Up Boss and Lofty, which used to be Chime. But if you take a look at our database, let me shrink 80. Here we go. So we've got 80,000 people in this database, and we've got them categorized so we can identify who's who, how often are they logging in, and then when we want to do a blast, we can send it out to everybody. But yeah, the whole idea that I'm trying to drill into you right now is that your job in this business is to make sure that you're building relationships along the way. And the only way you're going to do that is if you're showing up consistently in front of them, right? That's the whole idea behind Hop. Now let's go into online. Do you have any questions before I shift out of Hop, H-O-P? Going once, going twice. Hope you're taking notes. All right, next, online leads. There's a lot, right? Let me expand on Meta. Let me shrink Google, and we'll shrink these. Mostly they're same opportunities that you see. But when you're looking at Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram mainly, um, when we're looking at online leads, we're looking at Trenton runs our Facebook ads and Instagram ads. We did a whole session on it on Tuesday. Uh, he showed us how to create the ads and then going through the nurturing. I want you to understand that you have a lot of opportunities, right? I'm going to shrink this really quick just to show you. These are just some. But when you're looking at online leads, you're looking at paid and organic. The paid ones are mainly two without going directly to realtor.com, Zillow, or any of the referral sites out there that send you the lead and you have to pay a referral fee. I left those out because those are mostly known. I want you to I want you to focus on building things for your business. I don't want you to, as good as Zillow is, and they're good leads, they're just very expensive. I don't want you to rely on another company determining how you grow or how you don't grow because they can turn it off and turn it on. I've seen both. And I don't want you to have to rely on a company that can decide how your business is going to run or whether or not they're going to send you leads. And so our job is to make sure that you know how to run your business without anybody else. That's the whole goal. Meta. So the way that we run it is we have a process to make sure that the leads that are coming through, and you know what, Trenton, if you want to show really quick, not right now, because I don't want to catch you off guard, but when you're up, if you want to just show really quick one lead that has come through one of the ads you've done so people can see how they come in, what they look like on Lofty, and then what plan they're on, just so people can see it. But this is your opportunity. You have them come in. I think Trenton had our leads were costing $3.81. I think you had it down to a lead in comparison to Zillow's leads are costing us $500 plus a lead. Now there is a difference too, right? Zillow's leads have a higher conversion. I think they're at 6% nationally. Facebook lead ads nationally, 1%, right? Much less. But still, if you add them all up, which we have, I almost killed my mic, which we have, you look at Facebook lead ads and Google pay-per-click, they're now costing us a lot less to run those than to go to Zillow. That's just facts because we base it all on numbers. And this is how we decided back in 2016 to say, we're cutting Zillow, we're cutting Realtor.com off. And then we were spending $50,000 plus a month on a combined both. I think it was combined both. So when you're looking at that, know that we've done, this is part of what we talked about at the beginning with April. We've done the homework and we continue to do it for you. So you don't have to decide, well, where do I go, right? Yeah, Eric, 50,000 a month. We were at the time, remember, this is 2016 when I stopped. When I started with both, we were the largest at the time. We were the number one client spending money with Realtor.com in the nation. So there you go. Rashawn, is there a reason you use both FUB and Lofty? Is one better for a single agent? I like both. And the reason we do it, Rashawn, is because we, as lab coat agents, let me put my lab coat agents hat on. Let me put my lab coat agents hat on, right? And we get a lot of technology for free because they want us to test it. And if it works, obviously we're going to say great things about it. If it doesn't work, then they get mad at us because they think it's us, but it doesn't work. And so in that we have almost every single CRM there is on the planet for real estate agents. And we've tested them all out. We currently test them out. Lofty, we took on because as an all-in-one, meaning website, database, smart plans, AI, social media connection, all that, they do such a great job for the price. So we're like, let's go all in. And then Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss is just the CRM. That means it doesn't have a website. It doesn't have the mass texting. It doesn't have any of that. But here's what it does have. It connects extremely well to all of these other companies out there that have amazing websites, amazing text platforms, amazing design, we're everything. And so Follow Up Boss is the one CRM that connects to everyone really well. They're very friendly. And now Lofty doesn't connect as well, but you don't need to because it's all in one. So you have to decide which route you want to go, right? If your brokerage offers a website, you're like, hey, you know what? I'll just connect it to Follow Up Boss. Then you save money. But if it doesn't, just go to Lofty, right? So Brivity is good, Lily. Brivity is good. Now, if you compare, this is my personal opinion, right? If you compare it to like Sync, which is very expensive, or you compare it to Lofty, which is not as expensive, I still think those two are above Brivity. But some people love Brivity and they've gotten used to it and they're like, hey, I'm all in there. There's no wrong answer, just use it. Andrea, I have another appointment. Andrea, jump in. Listen, if you're not in coaching, jump in. We'd love to have you in there. Our team will put up the link there. Lily, you too. Love to see you in the group coaching so we can go further on everything else. How does it compare to KV Core Bold Trail? So Daryl, I do have an opinion on that one and it's not favorable. Bold Trail sucks. I'm sorry. There you go. I said it. Lofty's awesome. Uh, how do those compare? And we've compared them. All right. Now let's go to the next piece. So we've got Google PPC. We like Google PPC a lot more because think of how people search when they go online. Think about this with group coaching is available through Y Gorov. If you're part of Y Realty, yeah, it's included. Don't worry. That's part of the whole plan we have with Y Realty. So you're taken care of. Think of how people search when it comes to Meta and when it comes to Google. All right, I'm gonna shrink this really quick just to go through this with you because I'm gonna show you live. If I'm on Facebook scrolling, if I'm on Facebook scrolling, I'm not inherently looking for homes. I'm going to go through and I'm going to be like, oh, that's a nice home. And if I'm interested, I'll click on it and then I'll grab all my information and then you'll call me. But there was no actual reason for me to go on versus check this out. This is the big piece, okay? When it comes to Google. I'm going to go to Google. And now check out my intent. Homes for sale in wherever. Let's go to Detroit. My intent was super high in comparison. And so when you see now Facebook, no intent, because I'm just looking for family, I'm maybe looking for somebody making me laugh, or I may be logging into Lab Code Agents and I see an ad, I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, click. Versus me going to Google and typing homes for sale in or homes for sale around because I want to move, I want to, my children are going to college or whatever. The intent all of a sudden is in the middle, right? And this is why I'm going to show you again what popped up. I think one of them popped up. My brain caught one. Yeah, perfect. This is why your competitors who are selling you leads are going and doing that and then selling you the leads. They're just nurturing them because their system, their website now does such a great job. Look at this. These are ads right here. Sponsored. Zillow. They're paying for this. Why? Because that traffic, they convert it over and they nurture these leads and then they sell them over to you for a higher price because they've got the nurturing process down, right? And so Google is right in the middle. And this is why we gravitate more towards Google pay per click, Google AdWords for that reason alone. So that's a massive opportunity for you if you're looking at online leads. Now, there's more to this. I would say LinkedIn is amazing. You could do it organically. You could do it through actually creating a group. Yep. LinkedIn has groups. Who knew, right? That's a great thing. You could do articles. Articles perform incredibly well on LinkedIn. And you can also pay for LinkedIn. There's Sales Navigator. Let's log into LinkedIn. So see how it says on the top right? Oh, let me zoom out again. Let me zoom in. See how it says on my top right, get 50% off Sales Navigator? Sales Navigator is a product that they sell so I can reverse prospect within LinkedIn. And I can now target doctors in the area. I can target police officers. I can target people that work in a certain company and offer them a special, right? So there's a whole different avenue you can do this. You know what? I should add Sales Navigator there. Sales Navigator. There you go. That way it prompts me to talk about that. Next is YouTube. And you've seen YouTube, you've seen amazing people show up on YouTube in a community and dominate it. One of my friends, let me see if I can remember his name. I think it's Zach Faust, but he's in Delaware. Delaware Living. Let me see if I can do that. Delaware Living, Zach. I want to show you Zach because I think it's with an H. Because he doesn't have a lot of relocating to South Delaware. Is that him? No, it must be this one. Hold on. Let me click. Yeah, that's the one. Perfect. All right, so I want to show you something. He has 2,400 400, let's just call it 2,500 subscribers. In comparison to, let me go to TikTok. This is so you can understand the power of YouTube, okay? Let me go to Zach here. This is going to hopefully make the right impression on you. My friend Zach. All right, so he has 1.7 million followers on TikTok, right? You saw that. And then 2,400 subscribers on YouTube. Now, the the first thought would be, well, he gets more business from TikTok. Tristan, of course. No, the answer is no. He actually gets more business from his 2,400 subscribers from YouTube than anywhere else on social. And he closes from these. So the idea behind this is show up in your local niche. Let me put this in the link so you can follow him. Show up in your local community by giving information that people actually want to tune in for. And one of my other friends on YouTube, it's Brett Baker. He just started, you know what? Let me see. He just texted me yesterday. Brett Baker started a channel late last year. Must have been November. And he says, "Hey Tristan, I'm going to start this new channel. It's going to be all about aviation because I love flying my airplane." And let me see where it says it's cleared to adventure. That's what I'm going to show you. All right, cleared to adventure. The cool thing is, I watched him start the channel, and I'm going to share this with you. I watched him start the channel, and he went from obviously zero to to 57,000 subscribers. And what are we in? March? In less than 6 months. And it's crazy because he sent me the stats. He just sent me the stats the other day. And let me grab this channel so you can see. This is a reminder to you that a lot of you have all of these things that you love doing, all of these things that you're amazing at that are hobbies. And it's a way to attract an audience that can wonder what they do for a living. That gets you the business that you're looking for. See, it's not always direct because you can go the other route, which my other friend, Jason Walters, did. Jason Walter, he started a channel right before COVID. And through COVID, he blew up. He's got 100,000 subscribers. He's a real estate agent out of Sacramento. And he talks about real estate. That's all he talks about. That's it. Look at all of his postings. And you know what he does? He grabs his phone and he shoots it with his iPhone. That's how difficult it is. And he uploads it. Now he's got one VA who, because he's recording on his iPhone and he's recording his screen, sends it over to them and they put it together and it makes magic. But that's how easy it is. The point is, I need you to pick how you're going to show up on social media and show up more often. That's it. Don't overthink it, please. And then Meta, how are you going to show up on Meta? You could do a lot of these short videos that you do on TikTok or Instagram, same thing, or post words. How are you going to show up? TikTok, 1 to 2 videos daily. The whole point is this. You've got an opportunity to connect with your audience. How are you going to show up? Now we'll go into X Factor and community and then tracking and measuring. But before I do that, do you have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, even as you're watching YouTube and everything else? Amy, it's called MindMeister. I'll put up the link for you. But when you sign up for coaching, you get all of the flow charts that we share and everything we talk about. So there you go. I put up the link to MindMeister. If you want to sign up, it's free. You can pay for the plus version if you want. And it's not that expensive either. All right, ready? Any questions on social? Online leads? Going once? Going twice? I'm looking at the comments. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. Let me pop up the X Factor. Now, some of you may know that my whole background is in telemarketing. Crazy, right? High school, college, I was selling ink cartridges and windows and did Nielsen TV ratings. I don't even know if that's still around. But that's what I did. I would call up people and talk to them and sell them stuff or get surveys, whichever one I was working for. And then I went door to door. And so when I transitioned into real estate right out of college, I didn't have a big learning curve. I already loved door knocking, crazy, I know. And I already loved calling people, which is also crazy. It doesn't work the same, unfortunately, but it still works. And so what works really well for us are still two of these work extremely well. And hold on, I think I've got a chat here. I sold ink cartridges. Eric, I didn't know that. That's cool, man. That's funny. I sold it in Van Nuys, and then my first job was at 14 and a half that summer. It was in Agora Hills, and it was for Nielsen TV ratings. So I wasn't too far away from you, Eric. That's so funny. All right, for rent by owners, here I'm going to show you one thing that we use. And don't go out and buy it because we have a deal with them at the end of the month. I'm just showing it to you so you know what we use. You can go and use whatever you want, but there's a deal happening with this company that we're working on. It's RedX. They use Vortex. Now, if you're like Tristan, I love calling, Tristan. I love calling and I want to call all day. I want to get more opportunities for myself, grow my database. Great, right? You're going to be using RedX. Now, these are your options because if you look at this, you have for rent by owners, which I think are really, really good right now. And I'll explain to you why in a little bit. Expireds, they're okay, not too bad. They're going to get better. If you're in a market where you're going to seeing a lot more inventory rise, this is going to get better for you. For sale by owners, same thing. You're going to see these get much better as inventory rises and homes stay on the market a lot longer. And then geo leads. Geo leads is just to grow your database, and I usually use it for just listed. Here it is, just listed, just sold, and I have a buyer. Now let's go through this quickly. Let me see how much time I have. I have 12 minutes before Trenton jumps on. I can already tell you, I'm not going to make it through the community section. But here's how we do for rent by owners. If I go to RedX, you see here, um, Furbos, I call them Furbies, but if I click on that, it's going to now populate for me all of all of the for rent by owners. And now I can go through them and call them. Now, hold on. Let me tell my team something. Guys, I know this is being recorded. If we upload this to YouTube, remember, we've got to block all of those names out or they're going to block our YouTube video and they're going to say, hey, we kicked it off. So remember that piece, please. Keep in mind all of this. Tristan covers, Tristan detailed group. Oh, thank you. Yes, appreciate that. Um, good ad there, Trenton. So when you're going through this, the way that we do it for rent by owners, let's say I'm calling, let's see who I would actually call because some of these I wouldn't call, they're too far. I would call Christina. That's not too far from us, about 20 minutes. So if I'm calling Christina, here are your opportunities for this one, for rent by owners. It's the best one. Here's why. Let me go back now. And I would show you how I actually have a conversation with Christina. You have three opportunities with Christina as a landlord. Hey, Christina, I noticed that your property is for lease on, what was the address? Shenandoah Street. How's it going? And then just shut up. She's like, oh, well, she'll tell me it's going great. We've already got it leased. It's going okay. It's not going that great. I need to know because as soon as she tells me, Tristan, it's going great, then I know I'm going to move on to the second opportunity because the first one isn't going to work, which is, have you thought about selling it? Right. Now, if I do ask her, have you thought about selling it? And she says, no, she's like, no, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with it. Great. Because this is what happens. We forget that there are three opportunities. Hey, is it Christina? No, it's Christian. Hey, Christian. Um, Great. I'm glad that that one's working out. Do you own any other ones that aren't doing so great? Opportunity number two. because we found that landlords typically own more than one property. And then they'll say, well, and this has happened to me, this is what I'm telling you, it's happened to me multiple times. Well, Tristan, I do have one on. It's not doing too well. Actually, every time I put it up for lease, I have the hardest time leasing it and we're thinking of selling it. Now, if they say, no, all my properties are great, then I go to the third one, which is this was the one we always forget. Well, man, it sounds like Christian, it sounds like you've got great properties. Are you by any chance also looking to pick up any other great deals this year? That's my third opportunity. Because as real estate agents, I don't know about you, but I love looking at property daily. It's what I do. And I find opportunities. And the cool story that I use there, because it's my story and it always works, is the way I got the current home I live in, one of them. I actually was checking on the MLS, and this is a story I use with them. If I'm calling Christian, I'm like, hey, Christian, are you looking to maybe pick up something at an amazing deal? And he's like, well, maybe. If that comes up, then I say, well, Christian, let me tell you one of the things that we do. In fact, I did it myself. I'm looking on the MLS daily, and they know the MLS term, right? If they own more than one property. And I saw a property that I thought, you know what, this one's been on the market for a bit. I wonder if I could get it for less. And I just reached out to the agent. I said, hey, would you take this amount? And they texted me back and said, yeah, you know what? The owner would. And I was like, oh, crap. So I ended up buying a home at an amazing deal off of a hunch. And I get some of these throughout the year. You mind if I send those to you if I find one? And now I went through the three opportunities, right? Michael, with 95% plus phone numbers being on DNC list and with implementing regulations, that would put us on hold until next year, requiring prior approval. Michael, yes. So I'll show you what they do here, which is fine. Great question. And then we'll go on to the next one. When you go to any of these, doesn't matter what they are, expireds, Geo, FISBO, let's just go to for rent binders because we were there. If I go to Oscar and I'm going down over here, right next to it, you're going to find this is an office number or other number. You're going to find it'll say DNC. If for any reason it's on the do not call, right? And then you can go to all of them. Let's go to all of them. And as you start opening all of them, this one's DNC. You see, cannot call it. And I highly suggest that you do not call the DNC. Don't call them. There are going to be people who tell you, yeah, call them. I'm telling you, don't be stupid. This is a long-term career that you're in. You're building relationships, right? I was a cold caller. Don't call DNCs, please. You're doing yourself a disfavor and you're training your mind to just approach this whole business the wrong way. So, Michael, great question you brought up. Focus on the ones that you can connect with and then move on to the next. There's so much opportunity out there. All right, let's go back to the next piece. So now if I'm going back here, you have expireds, which it's part of that whole thing, just so we can get to the next one. For sale by owners, still there, and Geo. The typical thing that we do, which works extremely well, if this is the world that you're going to jump into, right? If I go back to Vortex and I go to this and I go to Geo Leads top right, I'm going to pick an area. Let's say I'm going to pick Long Beach, right? I'm going to map it out right here. And I'm just going to, let me shrink my window on my end so I can make a boundary. But I'm going to go pick up, let's say I want to call all around. Well, I know that area is not that great. So let me call Seal Beach. Yeah, there we go. Shrink it. I want to call that area. And now when I say, hey, I want to preview, that's big. Let's go shrink it more. Boop, right. I'm going to call Sunset Beach. I'm going to preview it. And it's going to give me all the properties that I want, right? Available 7,500. That's a lot. So I probably want to shrink it from there. See how it says 7,500? I want to shrink it and then I want to just call, but I want to call around. There's a tactic to this that actually works. I want to call just listed or just sold from day 0 that it happened to day 5. Why? Because over the years of calling, I've noticed that if you're calling a just listed around the neighborhood, people actually will listen to you if they've never seen the sign because it's so brand new. If they haven't even seen the sign themselves because it's not up, but it popped up on the MLS, the agent hasn't even put the sign up. You're on day zero of the listing. I'm calling Michael. Hey, Michael, it's Tristan with Y Realty. Listen, your neighbor just listed their home up for 600,000. I'm just letting all the neighbors know. By any chance, do you know anybody that wants to move in? They don't care about anything else. They're going to say this 600,000. What model is it? I haven't seen it. What street? Because it's so new. You're delivering them news that matters to them. Why? Because they want to know what their equity is. So, same thing applies to the end of this. When it closes, day zero, day one, day two. After that, it kind of gets a little bit iffy. Day zero. Hey, Michael, it's Tristan. Remember that house I called you on that just listed? Well, it just sold and it sold for this amount. That's nuts, right? I didn't know it would sell for that amount or the reverse. Now prices keep going down. Have you thought about selling? That's how you do it. And that's how it actually works because we're dialers, we're callers. All right, let's go to the next one. Any questions on that? I'm going to just end that piece there. There's a lot more to it, but unfortunately, I've got 4 minutes before Trenton does amazing stuff in the community where I think is probably the most important thing outside of the core database is what are you doing for your local community? That means where you live, where you work, when you connect with people, right? How are you staying in connection to this farm area that you have? And this is where I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to ask you, do you even have a community that you connect with consistently? Because if you don't, you could certainly start one. Like I live in a community. I've got 2,700 homes in the bigger area, but just in this smaller community, I've got only about 80. And you better believe I can connect with them better, right? Not only am I sending postcards 2 times a month, but I'm also having community events locally. I'm also door knocking. I'm also retargeting, like I talked to you about. I'm also sending them a newsletter specific to this community. And you would think, well, Tristan, that doesn't make sense. Only 80? I'm like, wait a second, you're missing the whole point. Relationships begin in a niche. They want to know, people want to know that you are the expert in the area. They don't want to know that you cover all of, hey, listen, I cover all of Southern California. That means nothing to me. But the moment I start saying, hey, I cover Broad Beach in Malibu, that is a small area. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, got it. And now every time you're sending stuff to them, it says Broad Beach. Hey, I'm an expert. You don't even have to say you're an expert here. They're watching it, right? So we go into that a lot further into all of this, how to do this in group coaching. And lastly, the one thing we unfortunately sometimes forget to do is to track and measure. And we go over some of this. I know there's an Excel sheet that I have for you that's a P&L one, a simple P&L. Let me see if I have it so you can at least see what it would look like for you. I know I did it on an episode here um, really recently. Let me see here. No, I don't have it on here. But if I find it while Trenton's looking, I will share with you in between. The whole point of tracking and measuring is so you know where you're going. If you don't measure, you don't know where you're going. And if you're reaching those goals, right? We have a whole sheet on this. I need you to get a little bit better at tracking and measuring. And if you suck at it, if you're terrible at it, get somebody who isn't. And if you don't have the money to do it, start super simple. How much money is coming in monthly and how much is going out? That's how easy you can start. How much is coming in and how much is going out. All right, with that, let me go to Trent. Any questions, comments, concerns, additions? Going once, going twice. Trenton, is it my turn to be adding the link to the coaching as you're talking?
I believe Austin has got that as well, so I think we're probably good there.
All right, you're up to bat, buddy.
Excellent. I just want to make sure. Perfect. I'm gonna kind of start it off and say that what I have going on today is gonna be kind of a lot of stuff. It's gonna come at you kind of quickly. But remember that we do break this down a lot within group coaching specifically. And we're also, so while for a little bit about group coaching, we have about 15 to 20 live group sessions that happen every single month, from Tristan talking to live prospecting to scripting and dialogue calls. We're also releasing new courses coming up shortly that's going to focus on, CRM specifically, maybe AI specifically. We also have some that are going to be focused on social media and also kind of with branding and Canva design as well. But a little bit of a sneak peek for you here today is going to be, at least with myself, is going to be kind of covering CRM, AI, and maybe a little bit of social media. That's going to kind of transition into what April Tucker is going to cover, which is probably a little bit more in depth of social media and branding, especially within Canva, things like that. So, without further ado, I'll kind of get started here. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit kind of fast at you guys. Make sure you guys ask any questions that you do have. Let them in the chat. Tristan will pop in and let us know. But first and foremost, I just want to say welcome everybody again for joining us. So today, I really want to focus on what agents have kind of struggled with in a way, and that's, inconsistent lead flow, maybe follow up, scaling their business can feel kind of overwhelming sometimes. But if you guys can focus on, or at least being able to leverage AI in a way that's going to be helpful for your business and be able to focus more time on selling, you guys are going to be the ones that are going to be able to dominate this year. And so, as you guys probably heard, AI is kind of everywhere. There's some of the major players, kind of like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Perplexity, now Grok. There's also like a MidJourney, being able to use Canva, but also what is already in CRMs as well, and how can we really use these tools so that we can save time instead of adding more work, on a daily basis. Because that's kind of where like the trouble kind of like comes into play is, it can leave you kind of stuck. Or I guess it can be kind of incredible first, but it also can kind of get you kind of stuck in a way that you're tweaking things for hours and focusing too many things and not realizing what to really devote your time to. So today I want to show you kind of exactly how to apply AI in a way that really makes sense for real estate. So that way you're not starting from scratch every time as well. But the first thing I kind of want to, kind of show you guys is what AI can do within a CRM. And I'm going to be able to share my screen here. Just going to pull it over from other screen for a second, so that way you guys can see this. And wait when I pull it up here. So let me share real quick. I'm
Trenton,
gonna Yes,
you used to say right off the bat, dude, but you fixed, what the hell happened? It was so good.
I got called out for it too many times,
I
and
know,
now
but it was
kind of,
great.
out of my brain now.
Right
So
off the
right off
bat.
the
I'm gonna
bat,
say
we're
it right
gonna
off the bat.
we're gonna take a look at Lofty here. Tristan showed you guys a little bit about Follow Up Boss earlier. I kind of want to show you the AI capabilities here that are within Lofty specifically. Because I want you guys to really think about this, but AI is not really replacing agents or anything like that. It's just making you guys more efficient. And so because of the follow-up game not always being strong, AI is going to be able to way to kind of fix that by automating timely, personal outreach. They're able to, like, this AI-powered CRMs at the very least, they're able to predict lead behavior, and then also be able to tell you exactly who to call and when. So I'm going to start here with Lofty. I want to show you guys right away here, right off the bat, there's going to be this people section within Lofty. This is where you're going to see all your leads. This one specifically, I'm looking at, I forgot what filter I have on, but I'm going to turn that off just for a second here. But they have this lead score section here, and the lead score is able to um, predict based on analytics that they are doing on the site. Are they opening emails? Have they visited, certain properties? And so we're able to sort this by, a higher score closer to 100 obviously is better. And then those that have a low score, maybe they haven't been in the site in forever, they don't like come back, things like that. So it gives you a way to focus on specific people. And the part in here that I kind of want to show you is this analysis of how they figure out this score. And they're basing it off of different website activities that they're doing in here. If there's any communications as far as open rate, email rate, do they reply to the agent, things like that. And that's how they're scoring this within this section. Another thing that they're doing with AI is this specific one is saying, what can I help you with in regards to this person? But before I had this up and then I just pulled that up, so that's why I wasn't there. This is what also AI is kind of doing as well. So they're saying, since Anthony hasn't recently viewed multiple properties, great to follow up with an email highlighting those listings. So it's kind of giving you something to do for each of these leads, which is great. So it allows for, would you like to proceed with sending an email to him? And it already can already draft an email as well. And then it kind of, breaks it down as what you should be saying. You don't have to say it specifically, but that's kind of where this will help. And that's kind of nice. And if this is going to load fast enough, I'll show it to you or I'll come back to this as well. Another thing that, oh, here we go. See, it already drafted it up. Um, Interesting that it showed a couple other agents to send it to. But here's, it already picked out a couple different properties that he might like and a quick little way to hit send. So that's a really nice way that AI is working within this CRM specifically. Another thing that AI is doing is they have this activities timeline within Lofty. And if you guys don't know what this is, it's under reporting, and you go to activities over here for those that have Lofty. And this is going to show in real time who's on your website, especially over here. It shows we had 11 minutes ago, 19 minutes ago, but it's going to break down as far as what the activities are that they're doing. So it gives you people to follow up with, and it's putting this all in front of you. Um, so if I would have viewed properties this week, it shows Gabriella right here. She was viewing this specific property. It allows for us to have a tailored conversation directly to follow up with this specific lead because they're on the website. They're using stuff that we want to follow up, and it's giving a reason to as well. If I were to look a little bit further out, there's also sell. So anybody that requests a home valuation, it allows for a quick manner to be able to follow up. It shows exactly where the property is, what that value is, and it allows for you to give them something to come, again, follow up with. So that's kind of where how AI works within Lofty specifically. And so that's kind of where I wanted to start there because AI is able to kind of detect some of those engagement patterns, but it also scores the leads. And then it also generates the follow up recommendations. So this way you're never really missing an opportunity to follow up with these leads. And so it ensures that, no lead slips through the cracks as well. So that's kind of how AI is working in CRMs, just a little bit, kind of an example here. And then this next section that I want to break down as far as what AI can do for you to help out is now I'm going to start to explore some of the other AI platforms like a ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, things like that. So that way you have some other examples here. For those that haven't used, um, ChatGPT before, here's what it kind of looks like on the front end. And ChatGPT is, great for long form comment or content, maybe listing descriptions, maybe even scripts that you want to work out that are going to work for like smart plans or for when you're calling. So that way you can be able to communicate with specific dialogue as well. And the other examples that we have that I'm going to show you guys are one is Gemini. Gemini is great for real-time data and it also integrates with Google Search. And this is part of the Google AI as well. Another one that we're going to go through is Grok, and this is through now X, which is previously Twitter, but it's also the one that Elon Musk came up with as well. Great for conversational insights and real-time, Twitter X analysis as well. So the first one I want to kind of start here with is how to use ChatGPT, and the first thing I always say is treat it like an intern because it does not going to know how you speak. It's not going to know necessarily what you want, but you need to kind of provide those things for ChatGPT to understand and be able to produce the content that you're looking for. So one of the things that you could easily do is, for example, write a Facebook ad for a 4-bed, 3-bath home in Malibu. Highlight the open floor plan, new renovations, location, and with a strong call to action. This is a very basic, quick way to get a Facebook ad copy here, or whether it be for an ad or whether it just be for a post. You could even have it for write a listing description. It's very basic. It's okay. It's nothing extravagant going on. What we want to make sure that we're doing is training it in a way that we can focus on specific actionable items because that's how it's going to be able to help us out to get what we're looking for. I do have another. Oh yeah, here it is. I have this document here, and you guys can take a screenshot or be able to share it for those that are in group coaching. But this is some different prompts that are going to help, really break down uh, a little bit further into what is going on so that way we can really appeal to maybe their emotions or appeal to some of the problems and having some thinking that they're doing. And so one of the things that I want to do is take this prompt because again, this is great. You can take this and use it right away. What you have to be thoughtful or mindful of is that ChatGPT and a lot of these other AI platforms, they repeat some of the same words a lot. So you're gonna see like diving into or delve into. That's where you know that's a AI generated copy. And so one of the things again you want to make sure you're training it and telling it what you want. Maybe you want to speak on a specific voice or a tone like conversational, engaging, catchy. Maybe you want to create a sense of urgency or create a fear of missing out. These are all different things that you can definitely add to this. If I'm thinking of let's see, FOMO and engagement kind of thing, make this less AI sounding, more catchy and engaging, and create a sense of urgency. Something simple like that. You're kind of just you're trying to teach it, trying to tell it what you're looking for. It kind of changes instead of just listed. It still says just listed, but now it's this one won't last. Now instead of stepping inside the stunning, now it's waking up to coastal breezes. So now you're putting them into that kind of perspective instead of, bright open floor plan and brand new renovations. It does kind of repeat this, but it says it's moving, ready, and waiting for you. Malibu's top school district. So it's a little bit different, slightly. Right now, it keeps giving a lot of emojis, so you have to kind of sometimes say like not so many emojis, things like that. This other one that is kind of my favorite prompt that I do have in here is this guy right here, and this is interchangeable in every way, but mainly is act as a real estate agent or act as a social media expert, act as a open house listing agent, whatever you want it to be, but help me understand for this example, I just said first time home buyer, answering these questions, assuming the solution is to hire a real estate agent and purchase their first home. But these pieces right here are the main part of the prompt that we want to focus on because this is really how we can really break it down and also really understand how each of these demographics that we're targeting are feeling and how we can create content that's going to resonate more in depth with them. And so this is kind of breaks it down. Like I said, they don't know where to start, fear of making a mistake. I like this questions on their mind portion here because this kind of goes through like, what are they really thinking? How can I trust my lender, agent, inspector? What if I can't find something in my budget? These are great blog articles ideas. These are great social media post ideas. So, like, if you have is now the right time to buy, or can I trust my lender, agent, or inspector? This is where you can then create content around all of these. And so, how to make them feel buying your first home, don't have to be stressful. That those are really helpful. This other one here that I'm going to put into this is it's a little bit in line with it, but again, I like to understand who I'm targeting, who I'm trying to work with before I just start producing content as well. Usually I would take this and do it after, but I wanted to kind of show you what the content looks like there. Because now I want to try to understand this persona and I want to create a persona. This is another one I want you to do research for me as act as Instagram social media expert. Tell me 10 frustrations, 10 desires, 10 fears that first time home buyers experience with probably purchasing a home, their first home. And so this is going to expand a little bit further into what this persona is going to look like. And so then it easily breaks down. And again, these are great posts to be using. So if you're looking for 30 days of content, well, you just got 30 days of content. To create a video of difficulty finding affordable homes within their budget. You could then tell it, create me, a video script or create me a carousel ad or create me a social media post around each one of these. And so it allows for you to really break these down. And so now I might say define that persona. I would probably say define that first time buyer persona, but again, it breaks it all down for you. And this is a great way to kind of catalog maybe the 10 people or the 10 kinds of people that you work with, like the clients that you want to work with. Maybe it's 55 plus, maybe it's move up buyers, maybe it's downsizers, maybe it's first time home sellers, things like that. And so that's where this kind of comes into play. The next one I wanted to look at here was Gemini. And this is one I just, typed in here already, but again, it's a simple prompt right now, but how can you then deep dive into it and expand on it? That's definitely stuff that you want to do as well. So make it a blog post, make it detailed about market trends and optimize for SEO. This is kind of breaks it down as what the trends are, what neighborhoods to watch. And being from this area, these are pretty good neighborhoods that you'd want to kind of explore if you were looking for some of those hottest neighborhoods. So that's where this one is nice for Gemini. I tend to use ChatGPT more just because I've learned how to train it the best. And compared to maybe a Gemini or Perplexity, don't get me wrong, they're both still great. I just kind of prefer based on the conversations I've had with it as well. For Eric, what is the last prompt here? I just put write your blog post on top 5 neighborhoods to buy in a home, make it detailed, include market trends, and optimize for SEO. And that's kind of where that came from. If we wanted to use Grok, which was the one through Twitter or X here, again, this is more for conversational insights, maybe a little bit more real-time trends. It does say that it can go to March 20th, so obviously today, but it's focusing on until the end of last year. And again, here's kind of different threads that we could do. So if you're new to Twitter or X, a thread would be as you start with one post and then you kind of like basically comment on that same post or thread, and then it makes it longer so that way people can then follow up with that. People will comment on these, then you can have different conversations, things like that. That's going to provide additional content to be able to post on social media. And so I want you guys to understand that while this is kind of fast paced as far as what we're covering just in these 3 platforms here, we do go a lot more in depth in group coaching. So there would be more specific focuses on really how to use these as well. Like one of them that we do is specifically going over how to create a strong blog post because that's a kind of a little bit more expansive kind of thing that we want to speak on for that. Uh, Again, for those that wanted to see some other prompts here, you can take a screenshot. Like I said, it's all right for doing that. But it kind of just makes mention of focusing on some different things. Create a high-end modern background with a luxury aesthetic. Maybe this is a capture. Oh, these were MidJourney ones that I had in here as well, which we are going to explore here in a second. So that way, they were both ChatGPT and MidJourney ones I had in here, so you could kind of see some other examples as well. Um, Another thing that I want to kind of go over is, you know, we've kind of figured out and at least discussed the CRM AI aspect, kind of looked at the text-based aspect of ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, of how we can create content that way. But now I want to show you a little bit of way that we can create content through graphics and through other platforms like Canva or Real Estate Content AI or Breakthrough Broker, which one thing I want to mention about Breakthrough Broker is that we have access to that through group coaching. So for anybody that does join group coaching, there is, let me stop my share screen real quick. There is uh, 2 platforms that we offer, and one of them is through a custom marketing center through Breakthrough Broker, which allows for a bunch of templates. Think of Canva, but one that's already broken out for real estate. And then we also offer the LCA Marketing Center as well. So both of those are included once you join. That is the $99 a month offer that we have right now. So that is also a great addition, including or a great addition, I guess, in addition to the coaching aspect of everything else. So keep that in mind as we kind of go through this as well. I'm going to start with Canva here so that I can kind of show you what we can do here with Canva. Just let me share my screen real quick. So this is what I guess for those that don't know what Canva is basically a platform where you can create a bunch of different designs for anything really. But think about flyers, think about social media posts, think about anything like that. And one of the things that we can do within Canva is there is this AI aspect of it. Make me an image, write my first draft. They also do copy as well, but I don't really use the copy portion of it. I tend to use just the graphic portion of it. So here's the one that I did is create a professional real estate listing. Let me zoom in as well because I have a bigger screen here. Um, and you guys can all see this, correct? If you can't, let me know because
I
I have it
got
on.
you. I see it. It's
All
pretty.
right, cool, perfect. Let me just pull this up here so it's easier for everybody to see. So one of the things here I said, create a professional real estate listing flyer, use a modern, clean layout, high quality property images, focus on a specific colors here, add the agent's information. And these are some of the ones that it populated here. And so if I were to just click on one of these, this is kind of what it created for me. And I can then hit edit in a design and then be able to, work with it and be able to design something. And once that loads, I will kind of show you guys here. So it gives you a good starting point as far as what you could create through this. And then you can create it within Canva. There's also some other ones here where we can also look at other templates as well. So if we looked at real estate flyer, and this would, hold on, I gotta move this cookie thing. Tristan spoke on cookies, and now cookies are needing to be on the screen.
I'm hungry.
So here's another one here. If we were to look at, let's see, Canva templates down here. Again, these are different templates that we can then start with, so we don't always have to start from scratch. And that's what's kind of nice about Canva is that these are already kind of here for us to work from. And yes, this is the paid version of Canva. I highly recommend it if you are going to use Canva because you get a lot more access to a lot more things, especially the additional stock photos for those that are not able to get stock photos or don't pay for a subscription for stock photos, things like that. And it's really simple, so where you could click on it, customize this template, and then be able to, change your brand colors. We can upload different photos here. The brand colors is kind of nice as well. And this is where having the paid version, you can create a brand within Canva. And so now, since I have this, let me see if I can make this bigger so you can kind of see. This is my favorite part. And I think April might even go a little bit more in depth in this. But it makes it super simple to just keep hitting shuffle and it will switch out the colors so that it works best for you for your brand.
Oh,
The
that's
next
cool,
one
dude.
yeah, it makes it really simple, and it'll be to update a lot of these things. If you were to use the Breakthrough Broker one that we already have in our system, it makes it even simpler because we just type in our property address and it automatically plugs all the information in for you, so you don't have to update that stuff as well. The next one I wanted to take a look at here is MidJourney, and MidJourney is probably one of my favorite applications, I suppose, through AI, but it allows for you to create graphics from pretty much anything and everything that you can kind of see here. There's a lot of examples here, but like I said, we can use them for specifically for real estate as well. And I hit the wrong button, and now I need to get out of that.
Yeah, you failed.
Yep. So, uh, hey, one of the things here with Midjourney is if you also use like a ChatGPT, you can tell it to create me a prompt for Midjourney for a home in, let's say, San Jose, California. And so one of them, you can kind of see this is what one of the prompts were or was from ChatGPT here. And the other one that I always use in addition to this is you'll see me put this at the end here is I always put capture scene with this specific camera settings, just because I really like how this always turns out with this camera settings here. The other thing that Midjourney has added since now that there's midjourney.com, before you have to use it through Discord, which was always a struggle, you can actually change up the size of the images specifically that you're looking for right away. There's some different information over here, stylization, weirdness, variety. Definitely take a look at what those mean so you can understand it a little bit better. This will show a different variety of images. This makes it a little bit more maybe fake, depending on how far you would go, or like I said, the weirdness as well. But this is kind of nice here. So if I were to leave this at kind of at landscape and just hit this right away, and it's gonna create my image. It's gonna start to. But some examples of what that looks like is, to be able to add to a listing presentation, in order to add to a social media post. These are some just different home images that I've been able to craft up through Midjourney. Obviously sometimes it'll put this text weirdly down here, but once you put it into a Canva or reshape it into a social media post, you can't see that. So, and you can do anything from homes to neighborhoods, like kind of like a overseeing here, kind of like in Los Altos, California. There's also you can use people as well. Let's see, I use a lot of home images, but like here's a real estate agent that I've tried to use. If you're trying to put into a different kind of setting, great. One thing you have to watch out for at times, and it'll take a little bit of time of practice and recreating them, but you can kind of see how, oops, let me do that. How you can kind of see how that person's face is messed up. So you do have to watch that. Another thing is like see how this hand is kind of messed up. So you have to kind of rerun it a couple times to where, maybe this would work because they're really close to each other and you can't see their hands and their faces aren't messed up. But then you'll get examples like this where their faces are completely perfect and, maybe they're all kind of in suits here. Maybe that wouldn't be as realistic. Maybe it is. But there's different options that you guys can definitely do as far as being able to create social media posts. Like I said, put in your listing presentations, buyer presentations. The images are kind of endless here to what you can definitely create with. If you're trying to create more of a video slide, things like that would work well for that. The last piece I want to show you really quickly is, like I said, really quickly because everything is kind of, but um, we definitely go into this more in detail in group coaching, but it's realestatecontent.ai because this again is another AI platform where we can generate a lot of social media posts very quickly. And so one of the things up here, I just have the key things first time home buyers in California need to know to make an offer. What we can do here is if we hit generate, let me move my people out of the way. Let's say we wanted to do Instagram, we could do, I think it's up to 7 days at a time. So we could do an Instagram post for 7 days. Maybe we wanted to add in Facebook, Twitter, whatever here, just adding in a little bit about your bio a little bit. And it's going to generate that content. So it literally takes probably about 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden, all the content that you have is going to populate. And you guys can also post directly from the platform as well. So we'll pop back in here within probably the next minute, and these will be done. But each one's going to have copy, each one's going to have graphics. It's already going to have a presentation kind of built out. So all you have to do really is schedule and post. And so what I want to kind of, a big takeaway here with AI and real estate is just making sure that, it's here, it's available. AI is going to be for any agent that wants to simplify their time, wants to focus more on selling real estate. But you just have to kind of need you'd have to know how to use it. And I think that's the biggest piece. And you can kind of see some of these posts already populating in here. Like one of these right here would be, what is this one? Why small upgrades in a home can make a big difference for first-time home buyers. Maybe this copy's not the best, but you can, or the text or the font is what I meant. You can change this as well through the edit template, but it has the post caption right here. Some other ones, excuse me, as those are loading. Um, this one as well. Some of these are really, really nice designs. Again, they could just be simple things to kind of adjust. Again, you can upload your own content that you would have got from MidJourney. So instead of uploading that image there, maybe you want to upload this neighborhood because it's a little bit more realistic to what your neighborhood is that you already have. Or if you're in high-rise condos, or luxury markets, things like this work really well. But the opportunities are endless here. I mean, if I can go down and try to find some other ones here, um, I don't know how fast they'll load, but here's some other shots of just aerial shots that work perfect for a buyer presentation or a social media post. So, like I said, the opportunities are endless, and we are definitely going to break these down within group coaching so it is easier for you guys to understand. But that's just kind of a simplified quick approach to the opportunities that everybody has available to them. And all you have to do is take the time to learn them or join group coaching so we can break it down in a simplified manner. And like I said, we're introducing courses as well. So we're going to literally take step by step by step and probably a 10 to 12, session course for you guys to really grasp and understand and take all this data in and be able to use AI for yourself as well. And to be able to help out your business and again, focus on selling real estate because that's the biggest thing.
I love it. Thank you, man. Yeah, I love seeing all the cool stuff and where we're heading. We're going really fast. So, will the courses be included? Michael, yeah, the courses are included into that price. We do, remember the whole reason behind this is to make high quality coaching affordable for everybody because we're actually for agents. We're real estate agents. That's the biggest difference. I hate getting overcharged for shit when all this stuff should be available for as many people as possible. So thank you, Trenton. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
All right, April, you're up next. How are you? Wait, you're muted. Sorry. Let me have you unmute. Uh,
Oh, I was muted. So sorry.
there you
There
go.
we go.
Appreciate you.
Gosh, guys, excellent content today. I'm just like scribbling notes and learning so much. Trenton, I mean, talk about learning by a fire hose. You could spend weeks breaking all of that down. It was just so inspired. So really, really good job, sir. Big act there to follow. So we're gonna do what we can, but oh my gosh, you guys, I got a question for you. There's about 100 to about 120 of you guys on here. So I want you guys to go over here to the little message bar. If you consider yourself to be an expert in Canva, like you really understand the platform of Canva and creation and design and how to kind of integrate different apps together, I want you to write the word expert. And if you consider yourself to maybe be more of a beginner in Canva, or if you want to learn more about how to use Canva to like the highest and best capacity, I want you to write the word Canva or beginner, either way. Would love to know where everybody here is at. And if we get any experts in here, people who really understand it, gosh, I want to be connecting with you offline because I just have so much fun connecting with other Canva experts. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mid to high level. I love that. Denise, you and I, we should connect. I mean, I love collaborating. What is Canva? I love that question. What is Canva? Yeah, we're going to get into that here in a second. Gosh, if you go back, just 2 second story, there was a woman, she was a businesswoman out in Australia. I think she did like accounting and finance and things like that. And she was really realizing that small businesses need a way to brand themselves without necessarily having to pay to go through, big branding companies and whatnot. So she worked together with her mother to develop a platform where literally any average Joe could jump in and start learning the building blocks of creating their own brand, creating their own templates, their own marketing, their own flyers, so on and so forth. Fast forward how many years has Canva been around? The woman who started the startup of Canva is now Australia's youngest self-made millionaire. It's just absolutely inspiring. Good for her. She saw this niche that was needed in the market for small business to brand themselves, and she ran with it. And what an impressive job she's done. I see a lot of beginner on here. Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I started out too. Gosh, I look back at my old content and I was like, that really sucked. But I was proud of it. And it created a level of confidence in my business that I really needed to get my wheels off the ground. There's been so much intermediate. Yeah, I think that's great. We've heard so much today, but Tristan, you said something back in the beginning that kind of stuck with me throughout all of this. And you said something, I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember. I just remember like a little piece of it because I've learned so much. But you did say that people get to know us. This is a relationship business. We have to build relationships. It's so easy to sit here and say, we're salespeople. Gosh, I don't want to be known as a salesperson. I want to be known as a relationship builder. And where do people get to know you? They get to know you at your core level for the things that you are passionate about. And yes, I am passionate about real estate and I'm passionate about coaching and teaching and speaking and so on and so forth. That's not my highest and best passion in life. You guys, I went to chef school. Man, I love to cook. I love to be in a kitchen. I want people to know me because I have a passion for creating recipes and having fun dinners with my family. I am known as a hot mess mom, you guys. I am always 5 minutes late and $1 short. And people know that. They just know April's going to show up 5 minutes late and $1 short. And you know what? I've created a brand around that because being that mom in that mode of just go, go, go is so relatable to my clients, right? And I'm a veteran. Oh gosh, you guys, I have built an incredible brand and presence in my community just for being the voice of veterans here in the Omaha Metro. You guys, I love it. I love my community. I started the Let's Really Talk Papillion page. We've got, I don't know, like 60, 70,000 people on there. Absolutely love running this. But for everything that I'm putting out there in the universe, I'm not saying I'm April Tucker. I'm a realtor. Oh, and I'm a chef. Oh, and I'm a veteran. No, I'm a veteran first. And then, gosh, people will remember me for being a real estate. It is that both and mindset. And that was something so big that I learned my second year in real estate was that I was operating in an either or mindset. I could either, oh, yep, totally agreed here with Denise. I could either go show a house, or I could go to my son's baseball game, right? I could either go to a listing appointment, or I could go ahead and, go to a listing appointment or whatnot, right? And when somebody sat down with me in my second year and said, April, you are allowing this business to run your life. You have to find your both end. Where can you both go to your son's baseball game and get that house shown, right? Learn to work out of that perspective. Guys, that changed everything for me in my business. I started to look at everything from a both end, and that included branding. When I started to look at branding as a relationship builder with people, that I could use my superpowers and my pillars to stand on to create a voice in my community, totally flip my business on its head. And that's what I want to talk over with you guys today. And then we're going to jump into Canva and we're going to have some fun in there because, yeah, that's just really where I love to be is in Canva. So you guys, when we're starting to develop your both and your pillars, your superpowers of who you are, there's a couple of questions that I want you guys to think about. And I encourage you guys to take a picture of this, ooh, got to get this one in over here, right? Take a picture of this, spend some time being in here and really learning to break down, what your superpowers are. Couple questions. What do you enjoy doing in your spare time? I can tell you guys, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy baking. I enjoy being in the kitchen, right? Like that's the thing. I love going for hikes with my family. I love going for walks on the lakes by my dogs. That's a lot of content. That's a lot of branding, right? When you get on social media, what do you gravitate towards watching the most? I can tell you guys, for me, that's cake decorating videos. I don't know why. I'm absolutely obsessed with cake decorating videos, right? But again, those are little showcases of the things that I love, and I want people to get to know me for. What hobbies do you do that you spend a lot of time doing? You guys can't believe some of the incredible brands that I have helped people build based off of their hobbies. Because what you find interesting in somebody is probably going to align with what you love. So I was working with a woman down in Lincoln, Nebraska, and we're working our way through all of this. And we've done it a lot in, group coaching and one-on-one coaching and so on and so forth as well. And we're really getting to the nuts and bolts. And she said, gosh, April, I love antiquing. In my free time, I am antiquing. I love going to antique stores. 2, I love Lincoln and I love the Cornhuskers. And 3, man, I love my grandbabies, right? So done. That is an entire brand all of itself. There are so many people out there that will relate to you on each one of those 3 levels. Oh, and I'm a real estate agent, because we can put that in there too, but it doesn't need to be the primary. She turned around, she started a Facebook group, I think it's called Baby Boomers of Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. She's got like 12,000 people or something crazy in there. She talks about her antiquing adventures. She talks about how she loves to be in the community. She loves, going to the Husker games, so on and so forth. She has found a community, and the number of leads she has picked up out of that is crazy. right? So you guys, these are your 10 questions. And I want you guys in these, I want you guys being intentional about how you answer them. And if you guys already know what your superpowers are, I encourage you guys to drop those in the messenger because I would love to see what some of these pillars are that you guys are standing on. All right, so getting back into that power of the both end. All right. Once we know what pillars we want to stand on, this is where our business changes. There's two different parts to branding. One is knowing what your branding is about and who that branding is marketed to. The other part is much more tactical. That's going to be the colors and the font and the voice and the texture, right? And that's where the fun of Canva comes into all of it. All righty. So what I want to do is I want to jump into Canva right now. If you guys don't mind, jump into here. And hopefully you guys can see my screen. Okay. Once you start to develop what you love, so on and so forth, I really encourage you guys. And here's one example of one that we built out, right? Suzanne Adams, right? She wants her brand to be magnetic. That was the biggest thing that she wanted. She wanted that energy to just be felt behind everything she put out there. She's magnetic, she's family oriented, she's emotionally charged, she's empathetic, she's observant, she's warm, she's calming. What she loves, this woman, she loves cooking, gardening, landscaping, being an empty nest mom. Reconnect with your life when your kids leave the house. You guys, she has built an incredible brand around that. And then she and her husband love going on the weekends to try out different breweries and estate sales around town, right? So that is how we kind of get started with the wheels of this. These were all colors that really spoke to who she are, what she loves, that she wanted to put out there in the universe, all right? Once we have that set, it's really time for you guys to start to think through kind of how the brand can look, because there's a lot of different places that we can put your brand. Here's one of them. So check it out. This is a popular one. Lots of people want the farmhouse look, probably because they're into nature, they're into the outdoors, so on and so forth, right? So this is a popular one. This is a farmhouse branding board that I put together for somebody. You should always have, and this is a challenge. So challenge number one for you guys, I want you guys to fill out those 10 questions. I want you to come up with at least 3 brand pillars that you want to be known for in your marketplace. Challenge number 2, I want you guys to come up, if you don't already have it, with at least 5 branding colors, right? So do you guys know the rule of 7? Have you guys heard of this? That's basically somebody needs to see your brand 7 times in order for them to equate that brand with your face or with your name. Throw that rule out. I think that's an antiquated rule. Anymore, they have to see it 15 to 20 times, right? We have very short-term thinkers in front of us, right? 15 to 20 times. That means we have to be so consistent with every single thing we're putting out there in the universe. Because when somebody sees this color down here combined with this color here, I want them thinking April Tucker, right? This is so important to create that. And Trenton, you just touched on that with creating a brand board. So your brand should have, at a minimum, a deep color that can be used as a background, right? So on and so forth. A light contrasting color. So I personally like to name my colors. That way, when I paint my back wall in this deep color, it's not just black, that's charcoal, right? It kind of gives your brand a life and a personality. Complement, you need something that kind of complements the brand as a whole. And in this case, kind of that sagey green works really well with the deep, the light, and the farmhouse. You always need to make sure you have a neutral color in there, of course. And then I'm a fan of a hit of color. In this case, I called it Sugar Pop. And it's just a great, bright hit of color within your branding. All right. Feel free to take a picture of this, or whatnot, but this is kind of how your brand should start to stack up. I got several things here. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thanks, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump out of that. So that's your second challenge, and I encourage all of you guys to come up with it. Oh, it won't let me. There we go. All right. Once you have all of your colors in here, If I put this here, can you guys still see my screen if I pull up another Canva account? Can you guys see that, the new one? Yes, I think I see hearts and likes.
Yes,
Thanks,
we
guys.
see it.
I appreciate you. I'm going to give you guys a super fast crash course in how you create that brand board. Now, check it out. If you have a free Canva account, meaning you don't pay the $20 a month, which you should, it is literally the best money I pay in my business. But if you don't, you are allowed to create one brand board. So you can still do this. If you have a paid account, super easy. You guys can create as many brand boards as you guys want. So check it out. To create the brand board, what you need is your Canva account kind of set up in two different web browsers. You guys see that? This one, I'm going to take it back home. This one, I'm going to pull up my brand board here. Okay. Now check it out. It's as easy as this. I'm going to come over here to the side. I'm going to click on brand. I'm going to go to add new, and I'm going to call this Farmhouse 2, just because I already have a Farmhouse 1. All right. Now, if you guys want to keep it pretty simple, all you have to do is take a picture that you like. So let's say that that was like a picture I found on Pinterest, and I'm going to upload it in here. Take any picture you guys want, or take your logo, whatever, and check it out. It just automatically pulled the exact hex codes, not all the hex codes, but the exact hex codes right out of there in order to go ahead and start my brand board. Was that pretty easy, you guys? Like, that's about as simple as it gets. Now, check it out. We still need to get Ash in there, right? And we still need to get a few others. So this is why I said to have two browsers. Let's jump into this one. Gosh, we're missing this color right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the color. I'm going to click on this plus button. I'm going to copy the hex code, come back into here, paste it in, and there we go. There's color number 4. And then the only other one that I'm missing is the white color, this kind of, this one here, right? My shiplap. That's the name of that color, shiplap. So I'm going to click it. It's kind of this creamy color here. Grab it, come back in, and just like that, you guys have a brand board set up to help you guys create the consistency in your branding. Now, where can we use this branding once you have it set up? Oh my gosh, drop your comments, because literally it is endless, endless possibilities. So where would you guys, oh, that's good to know. I did not know that even the one does not allow. So there's your reason to pay for Canva, so you guys can at least get one brand board on it. But you guys, this is some great places to start using your branding. Very obvious is going to be just listed, just sold posts. It's going to be open house flyers. It's going to be your monthly newsletters that you print and mail to people. It's going to be your email blasts. It's going to be your yard signs. It's going to be your buyer packs and your listing packs and your Popeyes and your client gifts and your event announcements and so on and so forth. It's easy. Yeah, right there. Sellers, buyer handbooks. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's perfect, Amy. Wherever you guys can get these colors and these textures in there is where you guys want to be using these, right? So that is your challenge number 3, right? Number 1, come up with your pillars. Challenge number 2, I encourage you guys to come up with your 5 colors that you guys want to use. Apparel. Yes, you guys, matter of fact, I didn't get to make it home today. I wear this color right here all the time. You guys, I'm upset. I love the color pink. I'm a big color pink person, and I'm just going to go home and put on my pink shirt for this, but I got stuck. I run a big team here, and they were busy today. So I've been in team lead mode all day. And every person on my team. And for our team leads on here, we do run visionaries. And this is one of the big things that we talk about in visionaries is things like, well, gosh, April, like you, I've got a 30-person team. What if not everybody wants to use the team branding? No problem. We have unlimited brand boards. Every single person on my team has their own brand board, because the first thing we do when they get on the team is we sit down, we come up with their pillars, we come up with their colors, we come up with their branding, and they get their own brand boards that they can use within Canva. That's a great hack and trick for any team leads on here. So check it out. Let's come back into the home. And let me show you guys just some quick examples of where this can go. So, of course, this is challenge number 3. Create 3 templates that you guys can use as easy plug and go in your business to help create that consistency. So here's one example, okay? Super easy. I created a just listed, and when I had it exactly how I liked, I just hit this little duplicate page button, and there it is. Oh, there we go. So I've got just listed, and now I'm going to put in there, newly pended, and I'm going to hit it again and put in just sold. What did I do? I just quickly and easily, before my listing goes live, created the just listed, newly pending, just sold templates that I need. So when I'm sitting at my son's football game on a Saturday and my listing goes under contract, I can just pop into Canva and I've already created the post that I need to pop it up in 2 seconds, and it's already branded to my colors. This is the first thing I want you guys to do within this, is to have fun creating your just listed and your, I created a lot of those, open house, newly pended, and sold. You guys see that consistency across the board? That makes an impact, right? So now all of your social media, everything you're putting out online looks very cohesive and very, very consistent across the board. So I encourage you guys to do that. Let me get rid of this one because I already made the copy, the just listed. There we go, just listed, open house, newly pended, and sold. Well, now what else can we do? How about an open house flyer, right? Really easy to do. So all you guys are going to do is come up here, click on resize it to an 8.5 by 11, click on copy and resize. And what it's going to do is it's going to take your template, which I'll actually pop it into here because I already did it for you guys. And it is going to pop it into an 8.5 by 11. Guys see that? I had to do a little bit of tweaking, right, to put it on an 8.5 by 11. But now people saw my open house marketing on Facebook. They stopped in, and I had this nice glossy flyer sitting there with the seller property condition disclosure attached to it. And it keeps that very consistent. Oh, but I also have a sign-in sheet. And the sign-in sheet says, thank you so much for signing in my fonts and in my colors, the different blocks on there, so on and so forth. Be creating this, right? From there, you guys can have a ton of fun creating newsletters. Here's a quick newsletter, right? So this is one of them. This is very, very easy, and I have my colors on here. I've got my font on here, so on and so forth, right? And this is the one that I print and I mail to my clients every single month. Oh, but then my newsletter looks similar, the one that I email blast, so on and so forth. Are you guys seeing how much fun this is to start to really create some consistent branding? Or yeah. All right, cool. So from there, you guys, we've really accomplished 2 big things. 1, we have accomplished your superpowers. 2, we've accomplished a look and a feel behind your brand. And we only have a few minutes left here, but I really want to walk you guys through point 3, which is going to kind of take a lot of different things that you guys have heard today and kind of drive the point home on it. And that is using everything I just talked about with the power of AI to create social media posts. Because who here could really use hemming up and streamlining their social media posts, creating 30, 60, 90 days worth of content quickly and easily ahead of time in your slow months. That way, when we come into April, May, June, July, August, and the market super takes off, we've already done all of our front loading of what we need to do to be successful early on in the year where things were a little bit quieter. All right. So let's go back to those superpowers, okay? Let me talk about Tristan here for a second. So if we take all things that we know about our friend Tristan, okay, I can tell you that some of his superpowers might be, right, Malibu. Man, you see him post a lot about Malibu. You hear him talk about Malibu. He lives right outside of that area. He lives and breathes it. He's got TikTok accounts, I'm kind of dedicated to it. So I would put Malibu down as one of his. Man, this guy loves his family. He loves to take pictures of his family and put those out there on social media. And we see and hear a lot about how much time he dedicates to just being a good family man. And 3, I would venture to say, Tristan, that you really like superheroes and gaming, right? Because you always have some sort of a superhero thing behind you on your Zooms, and you love to do gaming, whatever that is, Fortnite or something, with your son, right? So 3 superpowers, okay? What are your intentions with those superpowers when you're posting on social media? That's the way we have to start thinking. Intention number one, I would venture to say from Tristan, is to inspire people. Intention number two would be to motivate people. And number three, I would have to say would be to teach or to coach people. For everything he puts out there, it's either inspiring, it's motivating to kick you in the butt and make you work a little bit harder, or it has to do with teaching or coaching. Now you could take something like Malibu and create a post that motivates people to maybe want to go to Malibu, that inspires them to fall in love with something about Malibu, or teaches them something about Malibu that maybe they didn't know before. And when you can start to take your intentions and cross them over with your pillars, that's an incredible social media platform right there all in itself. So how do we take AI into that? Let me show you guys a quick example. Okay. I did make one up here for you guys. I kind of made it up. It's kind of me. So check this out. If we come over here, and I decided to use ChatGPT for this one, all right, just because I'm very comfortable with it, although Grok is quickly becoming another one that I really like. When you're using Chat, Grok, so on and so forth, it's really important to get very specific with what you want, but also very specific with the voice that you want it in. I have learned that ChatGPT learns your brand. A lot of my brand is tied up in, hey guys, and cheers. Like that's it. I use that in my yellow hearts, right? In my pink, in my farmhouse. And for my team, I'm Copper. Everything has to do with Copper Group. That's the name of my team, right? To get very specific. So I want you to create a 30-day rotating social media content calendar tailored to my brand voice. My brand pillars are baking, and real estate, military and real estate, mom life and real estate. The focus of the campaign should be on the personal side of each pillar with light touches on real estate. Real estate should never be the main emphasis. My key intentions for every post are to educate, entertain, and inspire my audience. Break down the calendar as follows, each with a rotating focus on my intention. I want 5 posts centered around baking and my intentions, 5 posts focused on the Omaha military community, 5 posts highlighting mom life, sharing relatable or helpful content, right? And 5 posts specifically geared towards real estate. I want you to rotate through these themes in a cohesive, engaging way over the 30 days. Make sure the tone is authentic, approachable, and reflective of my brand personality. And I popped it in there and it said, absolutely, April. And I love ChatGPT. Sometimes I feel like it's my best friend because it's so like, hey, it's a great idea. I'm like, oh, thanks. I do enjoy that. Anyways, here's a thoughtfully curated 30-day rotating, you guys. It is as easy as this. Check it out. Week 1, baking to entertain. Every Friday, do Baking Fail Friday. How much fun would that be? You know, make a recipe, kind of screw it up a little bit, film yourself doing it, and maybe tell a real estate story while you're doing that. So easy, right? Military, educate. 3 hidden discounts in Omaha every military family should know, right? Tag a military family who could use these perks. Mom life, to inspire, a reminder to all the busy moms juggling everything. It is okay if the laundry piles pile up, so on and so forth. You guys, everything that's in here, which is 3, 4, 5 weeks of content, right? All sound like something that I would post. From here, it becomes really easy to just come back over here into your posts, grab a Facebook post, grab a background or a picture. So I come down here and we could do farmhouse, right? And there we go. That's kind of got some of my brand colors in it, right? Set that image as the background. All right. Come back over here. Quick Omaha market stat. What's happening this month? What's the most extra thing you've ever baked at a party? Here's mine. Copy, right? And I would take a picture of something that I baked. Let's come over here to text. Let's pop it in. Let's paste it in there. Let's give it my brand font, which is, let's do Farmers Market. Let's put it in my pink color because we guys all know that I love pink, right? And let's give it a background. So we're going to go to Effects, Background, and there we go. I mean, we can make it black. We can make it that. Oh, that's kind of fun. Let's kind of take that transparency down a touch on it. And let's kind of make that bigger in here, kind of get my lines just right. And what I can do, once I have my things set up and put my logo in there and make sure you're compliant with all of your brokerage, everything, right? So on and so forth. That's easy. And now I can create a copy and I can go in there and I can set up my next one and then my next one and my next one. And it is literally as easy as that, you guys. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. So you guys, I really encourage you guys to get in here to really start a great, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, you guys. I encourage you guys to have some fun with this. The cool thing about Canva and creation and brands is you can't mess it up. You literally can just delete it and start all over again. And just like my first year in real estate, it does not need to be pretty, you guys. My initial stuff was just really ugly. I look at it now and I think, oh, I can't believe I handed that out to somebody. But gosh, I was really proud of it 9 years ago when I started real estate. And you know what? That was the building blocks I needed to be able to say, you know what? I live and breathe all things branding and creation in Canva. So just start small. You guys, I am on standby 24/7 to help you guys with your Canva and branding needs. I have people all over the country always reaching out saying, gosh, can you help me develop my brand? And then what colors could we bring into that brand? In April, if I gave you my username and password, could you just jump into my Canva and help me set it all up? I'm like, absolutely. Gosh, I love to do that. So you guys always feel free to reach out to me. You guys can easily reach me through the coaching profile. I've been working with Tristan and Trenton in there for quite a while. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on today, you guys, and really, really appreciate the trust you having me to do this, Tristan.
I love it. That was good. Very educational, and it applies to everything we do on a daily basis. I love it. All right, everyone, did you enjoy April and what she showed? Please give us a thank you or a yes or a thumbs up. Just little hearts everywhere for April. Thank you so much. And April also runs a team. I don't know if she told you, and she runs an amazing team because the culture is in place. Her brand is in place. She's just an all-around great team leader. I don't tell her enough, but she does awesome. So April, good job. I love that. All right. Let's let's wrap this up. We've got about 25 minutes. If you're wondering what coaching looks like, we have, I think we have like 20 different sessions a month. We include the courses. We include a little group messenger so you can always message us. We're really involved and we want to help you grow. The most important piece, I think, is a community. We try to keep each other accountable, but more importantly, try to lift each other up because we know this business isn't the easiest. Oliver, let me get that for you right now, and then we'll get into the second, actually, the ending piece of this. Let me grab the camera that I'm currently using because I know we have a few different ones. I'm going to grab all of the hookups right now so you have everything, okay? I'm going to put it into the chat. Don't freak out. There's like 8 items, all right? So just warning you ahead of time. Oliver, there you go. Those are the 8 items. If you're looking at the main thing, it's the camera and the lens. Those are the two main things. And then I hook it up to be able to stream with the cam link from Elgato. And then I'm using, we can use Zoom like we do here, but when I'm shooting the YouTube videos that you see or the podcast, I'm using Ecamm Live, which is number 6 there. And it's only for the Mac for that. And that's it. I mean, it sounds kind of gibberish to everybody else, but that's okay. What we do for fun. All right, let's wrap this up here. We started with your emotions. We started with attitude. I still feel like that is the number one thing we should be focused on overall, because if Trenton came in, if April came in, and your brain's just not right, not only are you going to say, yeah, that won't work here, but more importantly, you're not going to apply any of this. You're going to go back and you're going to be like, that was nice. And then go back to doing whatever you're doing. And that's going to serve nobody. I want you to make sure that you're going to be in the right place mentally, emotionally, to be able to get to that next step. So I've got some things here for you, actually 7 things I want you to, let me see who's here. I want you to write these down. Are you ready? Oliver, yeah, you got it, buddy. I want to know if you're ready. Tell me, yes, I'm ready. No, I'm not, Tristan. Tristan, you're terrible. You suck. Or, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Because you're going to be able to share these with your family, show them to yourself again at a later time. What I do is I have these little cards I keep in front of me. One of them, it depends on the day, right? Sometimes some days are harder, but I keep like little things like this that are super simple. I believe stuff like that. Like, look, if you're not going to motivate yourself, who else is going to do that job for you? Motivation is a daily thing. How to maximize positive emotions more often. Here are the 7 ways. Here, SpongeBob is ready. Great job. I'm SpongeBob ready. Damn, that's really ready, Trenton. I love that. You make me laugh. Number one. And this is all having to do with what Barbara Fredrickson said and Daniel Kahneman, right? So all research backed. Number one, practice gratitude daily. I'm not the first person to tell you this. I feel like we're heading into a sermon, okay? Here are the 7 things. Practice gratitude daily. I wrote down here, studies show that writing down 3 things you are grateful for each day can rewire your brain. And what happens when you rewire your brain this way? You start focusing on more of the positive experiences. And that also causes you to reduce stress. And all of a sudden, when you're reducing stress, you're allowing more of the positive things to pop up. Like you're going to be happier. Because I can guarantee you one thing in real estate, there will always be a problem. Always. You're always going to deal with a challenging client. You're always going to deal with these ups and downs. And I would rather you deal with them better by being able to take on the day. Right. And the number one way is gratitude, practicing gratitude. So 3 things daily. These are so simple. It's like, Tristan, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, look, listen, we, we help out. Like we consult the biggest companies in real estate. And I can tell you this from doing this, it's like, no way is life this simple? Yes, it is. This is where you start and this is where you end. That's how important this is. That was number one. Oh, you got this? Are you going to share these in writing? Billy, I'll probably put them up on Facebook. These 7. I have them, so I'll gladly post them up. Practice gratitude daily. Number 2, engage in physical activity. And I have written down here, exercise releases dopamine and serotonin, and they're known as the feel-good chemicals, which boost mood and reduce anxiety. Even a short walk can shift emotional state. I would challenge you to do this daily. I would challenge you to move around daily. Go for a walk, do an actual workout, right? Your job is to take care of yourself. That means taking care of yourself physically too. And hopefully you've read 1 or 2 or 3 books that show you how these chemicals that we release in our body make us feel amazing. Which goes back to the very beginning with Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, right? Where she said her research shows that positive emotions like joy, gratitude, love expand our ability to think creatively, solve problems, and build stronger relationships. Engage in physical activity, please. Number 3, surround yourself with positive people. I mean, that to me, the group coaching and everything that we do, that to me is it right there. Because you're never going to have me show up with a bad attitude. Because I practice this stuff daily. Like it's not easy some days. Surround yourself with positive people. Here's what I wrote down. The emotional contagion theory, you can look it up, emotional contagion theory, suggests that we absorb the emotions of those around us. That is nuts. Yeah, there's a theory that goes along with this. Being in the company of optimistic, supportive individuals helps us maintain a positive mindset. This is all science backed. You know that whole who said that? Was it Jim Rohn who said you're the mean of the five people that you hang around with the most? It's true. And I don't even know if it was Jim Rohn. I'm just shooting in the dark there. Denise, take your pup and feel even better. Yeah. My dogs, by the way, my dogs were itching at my leg. I've got two little ones, Brownie and Missy. And for those of you who've heard me speak in person, um, I told the story of Missy a few times, which is great. Surround yourself with positive people. All right. The emotional contagion theory. You can look it up. Number 4. This one is a challenge. Chuck, yeah, that's it. Yes, Jim Rohn. Show me your friends. I'll show you. I'll show you your checkbook. That may make a bigger impact. Um, Denise, you've got 3. I've got a Bichon Frise and a Yorkie. Brownie, come here. Let's see if Brownie wants to come up. Brownie is tiny. See, this is Brownie. Hey, Brownie. She's scared because I don't usually pick her up like that. Right, Brownie. Okay, no more. All right. Yeah, there you go. Number 4, control your focus. I'll write this down because I want you to look at this. Denise, yeah. Dr. Martin Seligman. Martin Seligman, the founder of positive psychology. Yeah, there's such a thing. Found that people who focus on what they can control. So going back to Socrates, Aristotle, right? Plato, and just Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosophy. Focus on what you can control, right? The founder of positive psychology found that people who focus on what they can control instead of what they cannot are significantly happier and more resilient. Shifting attention away from problems and towards solution fosters a more empowered emotional state. Why? Because when we're focused on all of the problems, we're not focused so much on how you can actually solve them. It's important to look at the problem. There's nothing wrong with that, but to focus on it and to put all your energy on how it's making you feel instead of focusing your energy on, wait a second, there's a solution to this. What can I control? What do I have the power over? And it's not very much outside of how you think about it and how you respond, right? The actions that you take. All right. Next one. Oh, thanks, Jessica. Nice to have you on here. Number 5. Use mindfulness and deep breathing. So I've interviewed a few different Marines and Navy SEALs, and there was one doctor who worked as a doctor in wartime. I believe it was in Afghanistan or Iraq. I don't remember, but it's in one of our podcasts. Use mindfulness and deep breathing. Studies from Harvard University show that mindfulness meditation reduces stress, increases self-awareness, and enhances emotional regulation. Even a few minutes of conscious breathing can reset your emotional state. And the best example I can give is our Marines, our elite forces under heavy fire. And this is from my interviews. Under heavy fire, the one thing that they're trained to do is to remain calm. And the way that they do it is through breathing. And it takes a lot of practice. But believe it or not, taking in a deep breath, take one with me right now. Taking in a deep breath changes your state. And I think sometimes we hold our breath and we're so tight when things are going wrong. We get a bad email, we get a bad text, we have a bad conversation, we get into a scuffle, right? A conflict. Take a deep breath. That's why meditation helps so much. And there now have been studies that go deep into how meditation is amazing for anxiety and depression. See, I wish that going into real estate, back when I first started, there was a class just on this. I'm like, okay, got it. Now I know how to handle all of these different situations, or at least I have it outlined so I know what to go back to, because this is the core of business at all levels. This is it. Number 6. What do we got here? Uh, Chuck, actually, the quote came from Jim Canfield. Oh, Jim. Canfield and Success Principles. No way. I interviewed I interviewed him. He's a great dude. You are the average of 5 people who spend the most time with. Your life is going to be a reflection of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Got it. You're the sum of the. Okay, got it. Perfect. Canfield. Nice. The Success Principles. That is an amazing book. All right. Number 6. Are you writing these down, everybody? We writing these down? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6. This one, thank you, Rosanna. Denise, Hal Elrod's awesome. Yeah, he's a great dude, good friend. Number 6 is also something that we don't talk about. I don't think I even learned this in college. Like when I was in college, I don't think I learned this either. Which is Charlene, number 5 is use mindfulness and deep breathing. Danette, number 3. Surround yourself with positive people, right? This is why we built up group coaching the way it is. Number 4, control your focus, like what you focus on. Focus on what you can't control. All right, number 6, engage in meaningful work and hobbies. I think this one to me has been the biggest aha over the years, because as I've talked to more people, more high achievers in different levels, right? High achievers as far as relationships, like they have the most amazing relationships. High achievers in, let's say, the business world, right? Or high achievers in the sense that they do an amazing job taking care of their body. High achievers in anything. They they find here they find the work that they do meaningful, and more importantly, they really allow themselves to have a little bit of fun. And here, let me read to you. Engage in meaningful work and hobbies. Research from Yale University found that people who engage in activities that bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment, experience higher levels of well-being and long-term happiness. The one thing that I found over the years, thank you, Michelle, appreciate that gratitude one. Oh, you wrote down everything. Thank you. The one thing that I found over the years when it comes to that last section, when you engage in activities that bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment, this is where, when you've got it down for your job, whatever your job is, right, in real estate or whatever part of real estate this is, and you're like, this is who I am. This is my mission. This is why I always start when we go back to the basics, your mission and vision. What do you stand for? Right? What do you stand for now? Mission. What do you want to, who do you want to grow up to be as a company? Vision. What do you want? What problems do you want to solve for the people you want to serve in the future? When you focus on those things and you show up that way, you're like, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to show up. All of a sudden it starts changing. Like you're purposeful. And you get lost in the work that you do because it's no longer work. It becomes part of who you are and how you show up. And it's authentic and it's sincere. And then people are like, man, you really look like you enjoy what you're doing. It's like, yeah, it no longer feels like work. And this is why you can keep going and keep going. And it doesn't burn you out. In fact, you include other people into it. And people are attracted to you because of it, because of the way you show up. And that one to me, I wish I learned much sooner. I learned that one much later. Um, but it's been pretty powerful. And number 7, limit. This is a good one, all right? And I've had to practice this over more through, I think it was through COVID. And then look, you could totally see what's happening now when I say it. Limit exposure to negativity. Limit exposure to negativity. I mean, it's obvious, right? But we don't do it. We kind of, if you think about it, we gravitate to negativity, right? Let's just think of the media. Sensational titles. Ooh, that's spicy. Let's read it. That's what happens. It happens on social media too. Ooh, I like that. I wonder what that is. Limit exposure to negativity. Here's what it is. Studies show that consuming too much negative news, social media, or toxic environments can increase cortisol, the stress hormone, leading to anxiety. That's a hard one. And lower emotional well-being. And that's where you find a lot of agents in those two things. I feel like we as agents live a lot in that little world of anxiety and lower emotional well-being. How do I know that? You know that because you and I have both experienced, if we've been in this business even for a little bit, when we call up somebody and we ask for details about a listing, or we just get an agent on the phone, if you call enough agents, one of them is going to yell at you or just show that they're super anxious and short-tempered. Real estate agents live in a world of anxiety and lower emotional well-being because they don't prioritize taking care of themselves. Instead, they revolve around, well, I got to prospect. I got to make calls. I got to call my database. I got to mail that thing. I got to respond to my email. I got to respond to the text. You know how many people I need to call today? And it's almost like we forget to slow down in order to do amazing in this business. Because that really is the secret. Slow down to take care of yourself first, right? Being mindful of what we absorb daily is the key to emotional balance. And I think the key here I wrote down for myself, this is for me at the bottom. I said the key is to be intentional about how we manage emotions rather than letting them control us. And unfortunately, we let the emotions control us only because we don't take the time to not be as reactive. Because we react to things. And when we're reactive, that's where things go wrong, starting with ourselves, those closest to us, our family, right? The people we love, the people that we're doing this for in the first place, they're the ones who suffer first. And I don't know about you, in all of this, I'm just telling you because I screwed it up, right? I'm the one when my son came into the room, I was like, not now, I'm making a call. And when you realize that, like me, it hurts. Like, man, I'm glad I was able to turn it around in time. But I don't want you there. I need you to be in a better place mentally, emotionally. And that means you're going to have to take care of yourself. That means you're going to have to prioritize you. I need you to show up better. Because the moment you start showing up better consistently over a long period of time, that's when your world starts changing. So, with that, Sean, thank you. These 7 things are so good. Thanks, Tristan. Really useful. And thank you for sharing these with us. Sean, thank you for listening. I want to thank everybody for being here. I appreciate you, especially if you were here for the whole 3 hours. Thank you. Trenton just put in what we offer. It's group coaching. It really is more of a community community to help you grow, a community to help you get to that next phase in your life, a community where we actually care about you sincerely. And we put a lot of effort into these sessions because I'm a real estate agent and I want to see you succeed. I want to see you still be here 5, 7, 10 years from now. If that's your goal, I want you to succeed. And so join me in this journey of making this industry a better place. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. John, thanks, John. Thanks for being on, buddy. John's a good friend of ours. You may see him in a podcast that we run called The Update. John, you're seeing what's happening with this, what is it, CCP. Crazy, right? Crazy. Paula, thank you. April, thank you for being on. Thank you for giving us a great session. That was very good. Trenton as well. You just poured a lot of amazing information in there. Thank you. Sherry, thank you. Very nice. I appreciate you. Rishwan, thank you. Oh, hope to see you there. As it says, looking forward to joining you all. Thank you. Denise, the entire webinar was amazing. Thank you all for such caring and providing such incredible value. That's what we're here for. Denise, we don't take this lightly. This is how we've been able to change the real estate industry, right? Not only having the largest community of real estate agents in the world, but actually caring enough to go out there daily and help us change and help us grow, right? We need to remain relevant in this world when you have AI and you have Redfin and Zillow and whoever else is trying to take a piece of our pie. We got to show it better because it all comes down to relationships. Everybody, thank you so much. There is the link. If you missed any part of this, I believe we're going to send this out to everyone along with some other links and give you an opportunity to sign up if you missed it later tomorrow. Thank you. Have an awesome Thursday. Is it Thursday? I lost count. Have a happy Thursday. I'll see you all in Lab Code Agents or a Brilliant Tribe. Have an awesome day.